How's everyone doing today? Not sure if anyone's been able to get here yet. I hope everyone is awesome. Oh dear. I got the end of that. Hi, Mark. Love all the faces. Hmm. Let's see. What if I close that off? I'm doing just fine. I got a bit of a headache today, but I took a nap and I'm feeling a little better. How are you doing? Hope you are quite well. How are you, Red? There's Mark. I'm gonna try something new today. This is a spooky story game. We're gonna see how it goes. Other than it turning colder. Yeah, I'm very glad I don't have triple digit weather anymore. Yeah, I don't have a lot of preamble today. I've got grape soda. I took Sadie out on a walk earlier. We had a nice little walk by the creek. It was very nice. She, poor little girl, got stickers in her paws. I had to pull them out. But yeah, this game we're about to play said it was about an hour long. So we'll see what it's like. Looking forward to it. You don't get negative 30-degree weather either. Yeah, that's like the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm lucky if it snows once a year. I wish I would see snow more often. But maybe not to that extent. Anyways. Give people a small chance to get here. I've got that dental surgery tomorrow that I'm definitely not looking forward to. You got plenty here. I would love to take it home, but it'll probably melt very quickly. Very quickly. Yeah. I'm gonna give this game a try. Just be about an hour. See what happens. Oh yeah, I need to re-up my stuff on the bottom. I haven't really been using that on Sundays. There we are. Yeah, lots of soft food. Alright, this is an indie game called The Sleeping Sickness. It's akin to a choose your own adventure book. We'll see what it's like. I'm gonna try something here. Free for pre from boy kissing, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know how well this will work. Right then. Let's see here. Silent Hell 2 over on YouTube? No, that's not what we're playing. We played that already. Oh, I need to make sure the sound is good. There we go. Possibly a little bit loud. Down a bit. I've also got all the footage I need for my next video on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that. I just gotta finish editing it, which I can either finish it tonight or hopefully the surgery won't kill me so much that I can't do it tomorrow. Not a controller. Okay, I guess it's I'll just use a controller. I want to be a bit bigger. Be like this. Yeah. I'll have to do what I can. Alright, well, here we go. This is the sleeping sickness. They plotted it as a choose your own adventure book in a way. So we're going to be reading this for the next hour or so and see how it goes. Very eerie, like, main menu and music. Jeez. Okay. Get my reading voice on. Let me see here. Harsh voices crashed down the hall, wrestling through airy mumbles and sharp breaths. Oh my hell, already? Grayson slung his wet coat.
Activating book mode.
Back we spin. Grayson slung his wet coat, snow dripping from the slick fabric over the reception desk. Actually, I should, before I get too into this. Hi Draco, you here to listen to me read? No, it's fine. I'm actually on a kill switch the redeems for now, I think. The hell already? Slung his wet coat, snow dripping from the slick fabric over the reception desk. Who was Dr. Gill chomping his teeth at now? Grayson stepped down the clinic's hallway and caught the familiar scent of cheap perfume mixed with cigarette smoke. Janae? What was she doing here? Grayson quickened his pace and pushed through the office door. Why do you care so much, Dr. Gill? An older man with a devious stare sat in his office chair, lips puckered into a kissy scowl. A kissy scowl? That's quite a description. What would a kissy scowl look like? Can we at least agree that she's dead? Translucent wisps of black hair floated out of place as Janae bit into her bottom lip. Did you just listen to me? Who's dead? Grayson asked. Janae's face softened and her shoulders relaxed. Gray. All 50 shades. Dr. Gill adjusted his glasses. You're late. Nah, nah, nah. RFM, thank you. Here to listen to me read. Thank you. Next to continue the story. Okay. Big thank you to RFM. Tier 3 subscriptions are helping us quite a bit lately. Oh snap! Kicked off a hype train on Twitch, thank you. Two of those. Nah, nah. Thank you, Draco. So sweet, so sweet. Sweetest Deathclaw around. But yeah. So I heard it was a lot of matters of investigation on this game. Huge thank you to Draco and RFM for that. The support means the world, as ever. I can only hit down on the D-pad, I can't hit up. Alright, so I want input from chat. Oh my god, Red. Thank you, Red. Let's see if we can get that hype train to level 3. So, it looks like someone named Greta is dead. Get input from any of the chats. We can go to Janae's house, the police department, the schoolhouse, the community center, the airport, or Greta's house. Where do y'all think we should go? You lurking. Weird. Yeah, give me some input. Police department's always the first stop for investigations. That's a good point. How the rest do you think? Yeah, one vote for the police department. Again, that's Greta's house, Janae's house, police department, schoolhouse, community center, or airport. Cops picked Greta's pockets. What did they find? Carter hates me. I still need to talk to him. Carter guy just doesn't sound too nice. No input? I guess we're going to the police station. An enema filled with pepper spray would be more pleasant than saying a single word to Chief Carter. Janae and Carter had dated previously. He had a cheap ring picked out and everything, till Grayson came to Trenton. It took 2 weeks for Janae to dump Carter and 1 more week until she and Grayson were kissing under bridges. Hers anger made sense, but Janae could date whoever she wanted. In a town like Trenton, who could blame her for drooling at a bit of fresh meat? The police station was a mud-colored building surrounded by lumpy snow. Grayson grabbed the door handle, held his breath, prayed for Carter's absence, and walked inside. Black curtains clung to the windows, and long tube lights buzzed from the ceiling. 2 wooden desks, cut and scratched, rested against the wall. Hey Doc, Officer Dyer. A kid with sharp cheeks and yellowed teeth spun in his office chair. Hello. Grayson scanned the room. No sign of Carter. Prayer answered. Faith restored. Hello, Purple. Yay, fries. We're just reading scary story. How are you? Dyer asked, smiling wide. He was like a puppy, so excited anytime someone came through. Oh my god, Squonky. Thank you for boosting the hype train. Looks like we're not going to make it to level 3, so no bonus, but, you know. Not the size of the hype train, it's how you use it. That's what we always say. How are you doing today, Squonky? You hear about Miss Tanner? Isn't that awful? What was she? Like 57? That's too young. My mom's 60-something and still trains for marathons. Isn't that crazy? But it comes out of nowhere, you know what I mean, man? 57 is way too young. I heard, Grayson blinked. I'm here to talk about her. I didn't know her well, but we can talk. Gestured to an empty office chair. You can sit in the chief's chair. Thank you. He cleared his throat. Where is Carter? He's in the bathroom. Dyer's smile vanished and his voice dropped to a whisper. Oh yeah, I forgot. The chief loves your guts so much he wants to pull them all out, you know what I mean? I'm afraid I don't know what I mean. Hello, Sam. Yikes, Grayson touched his stomach. That's a lot of love. An order SUV meme. I've been getting recommended those on YouTube lately. Yeah, this is a... For those just coming in, this is like a choose-your-own adventure book kind of deal. Game I got a free key for, so we're checking it out. It's a pretty short one. Apparently multiple things can happen depending on what you pick. So, let's see. Too much, man, too much. Dyer glanced at a clock on the wall. I think he's in for a crapper. Poos 30 minutes at a time. Oh, okay. What are we at now? 15. Alright, Grayson popped in his chair. Let's make this quick. He transported Gray's body to the clinic, correct? Sure, have you ever been fishing? Yeah, but... You know how when you pull a fish from the water, it gets hard like a wet chunk of wood? Oh, it gets hard, does it? Well, so far it's not been very visual. Dyer held up an imaginary fish. Her body was like a whole sack of hard, dead fish. Kinky? Any of the Goosebumps choose your own books? Oh yeah, I was like addicted to those when I was like 13. Fine, Grayson took his hand. Good to hear, Carter said, growling like a dying engine. I'm in your seat, Grayson said. Let me move. You're fine, right where you are. Carter tucked his tongue into his top lip. What do you want? He's here about Miss Tanner, Dyer said. We were talking about how terrible it was. Broke me up, Carter said. Miss Tanner and I were close. I spent a lot of dinners at her house. I'm guessing you didn't know her too well. Nope. Usually spend the evenings at Janae's house. Left cheek flinched. How'd Miss Tanner pass? We're unsure, Grayson said. The buzzing noise is in the game. I have a noise gate, so y'all can't hear much unless I'm talking. Unsure, Carter rolled the word around his mouth. Unsure, well, I'm unsure what you're doing here. Trying to find out how Greta died. Are you technically still in medical school, or have you graduated? I have a medical degree, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor, but... Then why are you asking us about Miss Tanner? Aren't you supposed to figure that out, Doctor? You are correct, Grayson smiled, with a heavy helping of hatred. As a police officer, aren't you supposed to keep records, hold evidence, things like that? You tell me how to do my job. Someone has to. Dyer winced. Oh, snap. Got him. Carter's lips curled back, revealing a line of shining teeth and jagged canines. Just want to suck all the life out of this town, don't you? You're a leech, stuff so bad that you're dripping. Not getting a bit of blood out of this department. Hey, Tiger. Hey, Chief? Dyer started raising a shaking hand, but Carter cut him down with one sharp glare. We've got nothing for you. Carter jerked his finger toward the door. Stay warm, Mr. Grayson, and get the hell out of my chair. Carter is very angry. Okay. Go as soon as you hand over everything you got from Greta. Yeah, Zim, very gay. Carter stepped closer, his chest inches from Grayson's. We don't have anything for you. You sure? I'm always sure. I have something, Dyer said with a squeak. Carter snapped towards Dyer, eyes blazing. Dyer shrunk back. It's about Miss Tanner. I'm talking, Carter said. Shut your mouth. What is it? About a call I got 2 nights ago. Greta was walking down Badger Street at 11 p.m. Remember that, Chief? I told you about it. What was she doing? Grayson asked. Walking in the snow, freezing. Just Seth McClure called it in. Trying to coax her back home when I arrived. He didn't tell me this. Where's the report? I didn't file one. Why would I? Nothing happened. What did you do? I tried talking to her, but she was quiet when I arrived. Mr. McClure claimed she was spitting nonsense. Claire's eyes shifted from Carter and Grayson. According to Mr. McClure, Miss Tanner said she was going to hang her mother or something like that. I gave her a ride home and she almost fell asleep in the back of the patrol car. Almost, Grayson asked. She was awake when I dropped her off. That's enough. Carter straightened his utility belt. Miss Tanner's just died and you're already spreading slander. Dyer lowered his head. Thank you. Grayson backed toward the door. Maybe I'll talk to Mr. McClure about it. You do that, Carter said. Burst of frigid air flooded inside as Grayson opened the door. Chief Carter, what? Janae says hi. Slammed the door and stepped into the snowy street. Day 1 has ended. Love the Molly emotes. Alright, I need more input. Where are we going? So we got Seth's house, the guy that reported seeing Greta. We can check on Janae, police department again, and the airport, or the clinic. Oh, that's great. Molly's adorable. Repurposed ancient technology. I need some murder mystery helpers in chat. And we go to Seth's house, Janae's house, police department, airport, or clinic. We just went to the police department. But we can go back and press them more, or go to the airport, the clinic, or talk to Seth or Janae. Anybody? Hello, Celio. Come on, where's my detectives? It's nowhere near me. Oh, sorry, they all specialize in yeens. Once again, the options are the clinic, or talk to Seth or Janae, the police department, or the airport. Text, yes, even that's not always 100% accurate. Oh my god. I need an answer from somebody. EMS paint handwriting's under the photos. Yeah, I like that touch. So hello, Spixie. Nope. Again, the options are Seth's house, Janae's house, police department, airport, or clinic. Pick one for us, Shinigami. People seem to be shy today. So pick one. Yeah, it's not something you have to super think about. I feel like the fun of this game is seeing what happens. The airport? Alright. Should try talking to Scarlet. Maybe she can tell me more about Cassandra's wellness group. Hello? Grayson's voice echoed through the hangar as he slid the door shut. Iron grinding on iron, Grayson reached around a metal beam and flicked a light switch. Hanging bulbs flickered to life, illuminating 4 small planes. Scarlet at the airport? On the other side of the hangar, a door to a corner office hung open, leading a wound of orange light. Grayson walked across the room, his shoes crunching against bits of gravel dragged in from the runway. He stopped in front of a 185, the same plane his father owned. Grayson touched the propeller and closed his eyes. He could remember it. The taste of burning fuel, the engine growl, and the steering wheel vibrating in his hands. Scarlet. Grayson's feet clicked against the concrete as he approached the office door. Rust dripped from a dark blue filing cabinet and 2 oily chairs set on either side of a plastic desk. Dusty photos of planes and pilots hung crookedly on the wall. It is in the game. The buzzing's in my headphones. See? I just muted the game. See, it stopped. And now we're back. Scarlet's not here. Grayson glanced over his shoulder. Scarlet would chop his head off with a whirling propeller if she discovered him snooping around. It'd be best to come back later. Grayson stepped back but stopped. Oh my god, Chrome, what an emote. How you doing, Jaggy? Before I keep reading, I want to do this. We're just doing this choose your own adventure book game that I got a key for. Grayson pulled the book toward him. He'd be fast. Scarlet didn't have to know. There's a strange book on Scarlet's desk. Dream Interpretations. The guide that helps you understand your dreams. What does it mean when you just dream of yeens and dragons? Kingdom to be able to unsee that emote. Hey, Jabbers. That's a funny one. Oh, yeah, I think I remember that episode of Family Guy. I'm okay. Yeen Interpretations. The thin, transparent pages crinkled as Grayson turned the book's cover. It was a sort of dictionary, with each entry explaining the relevance of seeing specific objects while dreaming. Assorted topics included scorpions, the number 7, and shackles. Kinky. This game gets funny sometimes. A rabbit's ear scarred the corner of one of the pages. What had Scarlet been reading? Shadow or darkness. That's a creepy figure. Distrust. A shadow may represent someone you don't trust or something within yourself that you do not trust. Had any recent encounters with betrayal or dishonesty? Have you been dishonest with yourself? Dark figure. Seeing a dark figure is often a sign of sleep paralysis. Oh boy. My sleep paralysis demon's got no idea, I tell you what. That is someone's Sona. True. Dark figure can also be an indicator of a haunting from loved ones who have passed or an accumulation of negative energies. Dripping darkness. Oh, that's just like BoJack. And the Dripping Darkness episode of BoJack Horseman, that was a dark one. Shadows dripping from surfaces such as ceilings or walls signify that a hostile force may have marked you. Consider hanging charms or participating in an energy cleanse. Meat! Love the meat. Grayson slammed the book shut. How could Scarlet buy into this garbage? Books like this are poison, and it wasn't the only one. Texts about dreaming, sleeping, wellness, and guides for starting your own business cluttered Scarlett's desk. Did she think she was going to commercialize their little wellness group? The office light hummed, and the metal walls rattled from the screeching wind outside. Grayson reached for another book when the clang of metal slamming against metal echoed through the hangar. Bang, Scarlett was back. Grayson replaced the book, and his eyes darted around the room. The office only had one exit, not even a little window he could slither out of. But why did Grayson need to escape? It was fine. This was Scarlett. He could manage Scarlett. Grayson held his breath and grabbed the doorknob. It'd be better to meet her halfway than be caught red-handed. Grayson opened the door and darkness flooded the hangar. Someone turned off the lights. Oh no. The buzzing stopped. Scarlett? Grayson flicked a light switch by the office door, and the office's light turned off. Dang, he flipped the switch again, but the lights remained off. Oh dear. Oh, quick break. Hello, Baron. Thank you for the raid. Hey raiders, welcome in. Hello, Baron. Thank you for raiding over. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my corner of the underworld. I hope you're having a lovely day. We're right in the middle of a choose-your-own-adventure book kind of game. The lights just turned off. Things are getting kind of spooky. Yeah, y'all be sure to check out Baron. They're lovely. What were you up to? In the meantime, I'm going to get back to reading. Did he blow a freaking fuse? Something wet and spongy slapped against the hangar's concrete floor. Oh, it's just plapping. Grayson froze. Scarlett? A heavy silence hung in the air. Grayson's eyes narrowed as they tried carving through the thick darkness. Scarlett, are you there? Hey, Grayson cleared his throat. Nice. Resident Evil's always a good time. It's my main series. Make sure to follow if you love Resident Evil, anybody out there. We do that very often. But yeah, today is something different. I don't like this sound effect at all. Hey Welshie, like I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Quiet hum sang through the building. Grayson glanced up, hoping it was a precursor of electric power, but the humming continued and the darkness remained. Grayson stepped back into the office and closed the door. What the hell is this? The humming grew more intense, vibrating the office's door. Grayson covered his ears and backed away. Did someone start one of the planes? Grayson's back collided with the far wall, and he pressed his teeth together. The hum tickled Grayson's skin and poured sickness into his stomach. Hey, turn that off. No answer. Hey. Something slimy and long slid into Grayson's hair and touched his scalp. He spun around, stumbled, and nearly fell to the floor. Oh god, why is it slimy? Rusty yeen. Oh my goodness. The office lights blinked on and the humming died away. Grayson's eyes darted to the corner. He expected to see a spider or a snake, but there was nothing. Hangar's lights turned back on and none of the planes were running. Grayson peeked around the hangar, but Scarlett wasn't around. What made that terrible sound? And why did the lights shut off? Grayson's heart climbed up his throat as he walked down the runway. Stupid town. Even the airport was breaking down. The freezing air burned Grayson's hair, and he felt his scalp. It was wet. Was it blood? Grayson pulled his hand back. It was only water. Alright, so the slimy stuff was just water. Well, the airport didn't give us much. The stuff about the dreams was creepy. We need another choice from chat. Where we go next? We check on Seth. He reported seeing the dead girl. We check on Janae, which I think is the main character's girlfriend. Go to the police department again, or the clinic. Talk to the doctor who's in charge. Alright, don't overthink it. Let's just pick something. I'd say Seth. Right? And Seth looks like he's like 80. He reported seeing Greta acting strange. What did he see? Christianity teaches that Jesus Christ will descend from heaven and bathe the world in fire. This belief has created two types of Christians: those who somberly await their Savior's return, and those who eagerly pray for fire. Really? Seth McClure was a Christian who couldn't wait to see all the heathens burn. He'd roast a marshmallow if Jesus would allow it. Wow, this is getting, like, interesting. 1, 2, 3. Hot air puffed between Seth's lips as his snow shovel scraped the icy concrete. Grayson watched his feet as he stepped up the driveway. Seth? Silly tiger. Seth's arms shook as he tossed a pile of snow into the yard. What? He ran his finger under his nose. 3, 4, 5, 1. I need to talk to you, Grayson said. About? A tan jacket hung from Seth's thin frame, and a sticky fur hat sat skewed on his scalp. You saw Greta walking down the road a few nights ago. I did, Seth said, his voice grumbling like a blender of pebbles. That woman is sick. That woman is dead. I know. Seth wedged the shovel under a layer of icy crust. 2, 3, 3. What was Greta doing when you found her? Grayson asked. I wasn't surprised to hear about Greta's death. There was a whiff of something oily on Seth's clothes, as if he just worked an entire shift on the fryer. Devil's net was on her. I've seen it before. People like to see how far they can push until their glass falls from the table. And when they're all in pieces, they either curse God or beg for his help. Can you give me some details? I'm giving you details. Are you religious? We've talked about this before. You're not? No. Atheist? I don't know. Seth trudged up the driveway and took the snow shovel as a walking stick. You don't believe in the devil? No. Aren't you a man of evidence? Yes. The quicker Grayson appeased the old fool's questions, the sooner he could get some answers. That's why I don't believe. Possessions have been recorded throughout human history. You deny all that? Oh no. No, don't burn the fox. I'm already on fire. No, Grayson tucked his hands in his pockets. So have dragons. Pinched his eyes closed. 4, 4, 4, 4. God help me. 5. Thank you, 5. What about your arithmomania? Well, what's arithmomania? Excuse me? You're counting. It's a harmless mental condition, but turn the clock back 200 years. People would have thought you were possessed by the devil. You watch your mouth. It isn't a possession, it just helps reset my brain. Let's forget about it. You tell me what happened that night with Greta. Seth took a yellow kitchen rag from his pocket and dabbed it under his nose. A little before midnight, and Greta was hobbling down the road. Why? Something was making her do it, Seth said. I'm sure you don't believe that. The devil was pulling her by the collar. I told her to go home, and she stared at me like a rabbit about to be bashed. What did she say? She mumbled a bunch of nonsense. Like what? I didn't hear much, I just called the police. Claire told me Greta said something about hanging her mother. Did you hear any of that? With Seth's tongue stuck from his lips. That isn't what she said. What did she say? Followed a dead leaf rolling around the top of the snow. His eyes followed. She said, hanging mother, a noun, not a verb. Hanging mother? Hanging mother, that's what she said. Did you ask her about it? Seth nodded, then abruptly bit into the edge of his knuckle. 3, 3. Pinched as the word slipped into his mouth. 4, 5. Sorry, I can't help my arithmetia, or whatever you said. I demanded in the name of God that Greta tell me who or what consumed her. I used to be a preacher, and no evil spirit can ignore the authority of God. What did Greta say? The silence deepened, making the grains of snow tinkling in the breeze audible. Greta didn't say anything, he said as he leaned the snow shovel against his house. She just started humming. Okay. We got some sort of... Well, maybe one of my demon homies around. I don't think I like Seth too much. Uh-oh. New phone, who dis? I know it was a fox demon. Things get too religious, I just kind of burst into flames. Great, see that. Apologies for picking this one. Well, we got some interesting information from him, though. A screaming stabbed through the darkness, ricocheting off the walls. Grayson shot up, his bedsheets coiling around him. The screaming stopped, but traces lingered, dancing in the darkness. A red light blinked rhythmically on the house phone before it rang again. Dang, Grayson wiped the sweat from his face. The blue glow of a digital clock dithered against the wall. It was 6:25 a.m. He slowed his breathing and swiped the handset off the receiver. Hello? Grayson flipped his legs off the side of the bed. Dr. Grayson speaking. Gray? Static nibbled at Dr. Gill's voice. Oh hell. Grayson glanced back at the clock. They had no appointments today, and the clinic didn't open until 8. What is it? Are you feeling alright? I'm tired. Grayson rubbed the sleep from his eyes. What do you want? Demons over preachers. An empty hum suffocated the phone line. Grayson groaned. Is there a reason for this call? Chief Carter died this morning. Oh. That was the angry cop. I wonder what would have if something would have happened if we had gone to see him more. What? Grayson's fingers curled tightly around the phone. How? The line popped with Dr. Gill's staticky breath. I don't know. Like everything else going on, I don't know. Grayson fumbled with the bedside lamp, flicking it on and filling the room with a droll yellow. Is it like Greta? Exactly. Carter has 5 small wounds on his scalp, otherwise the cause of death is unknown. You're kidding. Grayson stared into the room's corner. Okay, give me 10 minutes to get dressed and I'll be at the clinic. Not done, Dr. Gill said, his voice cracking slightly. I have more bad news. Chief Carter wasn't the only one found dead this morning. Okay, who else? Dr. Gill spoke, his words clear and seasoned by the phone's gravelly texture. Grayson did not hear him. What? Grayson swallowed. I'm sorry, Grayson. What did you say? I know you two were close. Silence filled the line for several seconds before Dr. Gill spoke. Janae was a good girl. Oh. The phone's static was the only sound in the world. It became so pure, Grayson thought a melody was beginning to form. Are you there? Dr. Gill asked. Yes. I'm on my way. Need you to stay there. The phone fell from the nightstand as Grayson yanked the handset towards the dresser. Give me 10 minutes. You're not listening, Dr. Gill said. I know it's hard for you, but think. 1. Greta Tanner. Now 3. Chief Carter and Janae Tanner. You know what that tells us? Grayson didn't respond as he pulled up a pair of jeans, the phone pinned between his cheek and shoulder. Whatever this is, it's spreading, it's deadly, and it's contagious. I already have it. How do you know? Talking to people for the past 2 days. If it's contagious, then I have it. That's a stupid assumption. Grayson's fingers shook as he struggled to button up his shirt. He breathed slowly, but nothing steadied his hands. Is Janae's body at the clinic? Yes, I'm heading there now. No, Dr. Gill said. I won't be at the clinic. I'm at home quarantining. You need to stay home. And do nothing? Your specialty, Dr. Gill said. Contacting the CDC. Oh, they actually say the... actually reference COVID. This has them plugged up. I'll call Dyer and have him shut down the airport. Fine, Grayson stomped back to the nightstand. Stay home, I'll examine Janae myself. No, you're my resident. For now, you need to trust. Grayson ripped the phone's plug from the wall. He waited by the bed, the hand set to his ear. Hello? Grayson said. I'm sorry, I think we lost connection. Gently placed the phone on the nightstand. Sorry, he stared down at the phone, picked it back up, and placed it back on the receiver. Sorry. Grayson stared down at the phone, but he didn't see the phone. Grayson could see nothing. Okay, we have less options. Where do we go, chat? Do We check Janae's house, check the police department, go to the community center where the mayor is, or go to the clinic. Okay, it seems like Janae's house and the police department both have like the people who died. I'm kind of interested where this is gonna go. We could check the bodies over at the clinic. Now, where do we try? Like I said, we can check Janae's house, who's one of the people who just died. Get information about the police chief's death from the police department. Investigate the mayor. I'll go to the clinic to check the bodies. Nobody? Someone's got to have an opinion. We'll run an ad break while we wait on that. Da, da, da. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so where are we going? I'm gonna put it in chat. Everyone's being too quiet. Ah, we got one from Shinigami. Alright, we'll head to the police department. Just give like a minute for the ad to pass. I am interested where this is gonna go. Carter's dead too. Dyer rubbed his forehead as he flipped through a large yellow-paged book on Carter's desk. Grayson squeaked his wet boots against the floor. Officer Dyer. Dyer turned around. Hey, Doc. Front of his uniform flopped from his belt, and veins ran through his eyes. Did you hear the news? Maybe, Grayson said. What news? A mega death virus has come to Trenton. That's what Dr. Gill thinks. Grayson pulled up a chair. Until we know more, try to stay away from people. He glared at his hands. This virus is burning people quicker than a match in a hay batch. I've got it. I know I do. How do you know? When I took Janae's body to the clinic, I swallowed one of her hairs. I've tried washing it down with a glass of water and 2 Mountain Dews, but it's still there. Wait, what? Why are you swallowing people's hair, bro? You have any symptoms? All of them. Name some. Sweats, headache, nausea, diarrhea. None of the deceased had any of those symptoms. What are the symptoms? Death is the big one. Oh man. He's sunk in his chair, and the light in his eyes flickered out. Well, I haven't seen that one yet. Grayson forced a smile. You'll be alright. Just stay inside. Ow, I know I'm screwed up and down, and now you're telling me I'm about to get it sideways? Did you move Chief Carter's body? I did. I wheeled it to Carter's desk. I wish I could talk to some old mildew right now. Pulled a worn notebook from the desk drawer and flipped it open, spreading the stench of stale paper. The damn gun safe is locked. Carter never trusted me with the comm. What's wrong with your gun? Nothing. There, I tapped his sidearm. I have Carter's too. He pulled up a second revolver and set it on the desk, but I only have 6 rounds in each gun. The way Dyer spoke sent chills down Grayson's neck. Are you planning a max execution? Please don't say that. Dyer glared at the pistol. I don't want to kill anyone. I don't know if I could. No one does. You're wrong. There's one person in Trenton who would love to put a bullet in me. Who? Seth McClure. The old man? Why? Says that shutting down the airport's unconstitutional, and he's probably right. But I'm just taking orders. I lift his notebook. I've been searching for the comm. I thought Seth was a preacher. He's got the wrath of God in him. Did you explain the situation? Sure. Dyer slapped the notebook closed. Seth loved the idea of being trapped. People are going in the ground so fast we're about out of dirt. Throw Seth in jail, Grayson said. We don't need people slinging threats right now. It wasn't just me. Seth cursed you and Dr. Gill, too. Me? Yep. Grayson cringed. What did I do? When it rains, you blame the weatherman. When the plague comes, you blame the doctor. You have a stethoscope? And tried cracking the gun safe open. Grayson stared into the corner, shaking his head slowly. When Seth's lips moved, his hands moved too. He was not the person you wanted making threats against you. No wonder Dyer's all worked up, but still, at least Dyer had a gun. What did Grayson have? Doc? Dyer tilted his head. Grayson patted his coat pocket, as if he may have a stethoscope tucked away. Don't have one on me, sorry. That's okay. Dyer walked to a small brown bookshelf at the back of the room and filed through a mess of old records. You should avoid Seth for a while, yeah? First pistol sat on the desk, light flowing across the barrel. Yeah, Grayson's eyes narrowed, distorting the gun's metallic glow. In high school, Grayson popped water balloons with one of those pump-and-shoot pellet guns. That was the most he'd ever dealt with a firearm. But now, he wished he had the little pellet gun. Did you check the back of the safe? What? Sometimes there's a sticker on the back with the combination. Peel it off once you've bought the safe, but people forget and just leave it there. Are you serious? Be right back. Tried to the back door and disappeared. Grayson listened as Dyer's footsteps vanished further into the building. Dyer was paranoid and inexperienced. What would he do with more than one gun? Hey, foxes! I love the name. Mortis? What's Mortis? Hey Raiders, welcome in! Oh, what's Fox is playing? Very nice to see you. Why is my phone ringing? Hello. Let's see. Oh, love the picture. I'll have to check you out sometime. Us foxes stick together, you know. Welcome to my corner of the underworld. Local fox demon here. We're playing a game that few people know about called The Sleeping Sickness. It's like a choose your own adventure book. If you want to have input on the story, be sure to stick around. Yeah. We've got a bunch of tail emotes too. Let's see, there's that one and that one and that one. Big tails are kind of a thing around here. We also have tail time, which I think... Let me turn my redeems on for a second. I'll show you that one too. Why is that not turning on? Steam Deck is so unreliable lately. There we are. X. Yes, yellow fox. Here we go. Big old tail. Look at that. Look at that heckin' monster of a tail. But yes, where we... Aw. Well, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for raiding. I'll be sure to check you out sometime. And if y'all like horror or foxes or big tails, make sure to smack that follow button, like and subscribe, etc., etc. What we are doing so far is a bunch of people have been dying to a weird demonic force, and we're trying to figure it out. Like I said, it's like a choose your own adventure book here today. I normally play stuff like Resident Evil and co-op horror. We play Resident Evil Outbreak every week. But today we're doing something different. I like doing special stuff for holidays like Halloween. Faith, the Holy Trinity. Ooh, I think I've heard of that. Hey, thank you. But yeah, we're currently at the police department. Bunch of people just died. And yeah, we're going to continue from here. We're trying to break into the deceased police chief's gun safe. Dyer was paranoid and inexperienced. What would he do with more than one gun? Dyer would probably shoot his foot off, and Grayson was too busy to stitch a wound that large. The gun safe was better off locked, and Carter's revolver would be more useful in someone else's hands. The gun's weight surprised Grayson as he lifted off the desk. He just asked Dyer for it. What if he disagreed? What if... Hey, love your picture there, Tiger. Thank you for the follow. Dyer trotted through the door as Grayson tucked the pistol into his coat pocket. No sticker, Dyer said. Darn. Well, we just stole a cop's gun. So that's progress. Okay, so I need input from chat for this next part. This is where I've been asking the biggest variance. So we can check out Janae's house. Janae is the girl who just turned up dead. We can go and press the mayor for details, or we can go to the clinic where all the dead bodies are. They're not active as an artist anymore. I have that with most of my emotes. Like the person who made my emotes doesn't do emotes anymore. That left me in a bit of a spot. But yeah, don't think about it too much. Just whatever sounds good. Dead bodies? Okay, we're gonna go poke a dead body. You kids want to see a dead body? Let's examine the bodies ourselves. Grayson slammed his fist into the clinic's front door. Hey, he grabbed the knob and yanked. Damn it. He breathed into his numb fingers. Dr. Gill locked the clinic. Why? Out of spite? Grayson rubbed his hands together as he stepped back into a layer of fresh snow. Fine, lock the clinic. That wouldn't keep Grayson out. He held his breath, locked eyes with the door, and ran forward, driving his shoulder into the wood with a resounding thump. Aw, dang. A numb pain spread through Grayson's arm as he rubbed his shoulder. The door remained unopened. What the hell? I mean, the door worked on TV and in crime novels. God, this guy's not very bright. TV would never lie to me. Grayson spread his legs and lifted his arms. Okay. Felt a swirl of steamy air, turned his body, and kicked the door above the knob. The door rattled, but remained in the frame. Oh, okay. Grayson kicked again, and the impact vibrated through his femur and teeth. The door shook, desperately clinging to its frame. It was working. But what would break first, the door or his leg? Come on. Grayson grabbed the handle, and as he twisted, the knob slid from the door along with two stripped screws. Oh, we're We are committing a vandalism. The doorknob sang as it collided with a rock hidden beneath the snow. Grayson rammed his fingers through the hole, pushed the interior knob out, and opened the door. Grayson stepped inside the clinic's waiting area. Add that to my evaluation. During his residency, Dr. Grayson proved proficient at removing barriers between him and his patients. A swirl of smoky light flooded the clinic through windows veiled in sheer curtains. Grayson massaged his shoulder and limped down the hall. The air tasted like dust, and Grayson imagined little particles jumping around his lungs like plastic beads in a toy vacuum. The door to the examination room squealed as Grayson pushed it open. Be gay, do crime is not a mission statement. It is for me. Go, do a crime. We did just get a gun, so we're prepped for this. Janae's body rested on a layer of crinkling sterile paper. Her pink flesh turned to glue, and her red freckles spoiled to a dull brown. Traces of Janae's beauty made the corpse's identity undeniable. It was Janae, the girl with those "do it, I dare you" eyes and a whip for a tongue. Yet her corpse was a cheap replica of who she really was. Grayson brushed a loose hair off her cheek. Her hair was the same. Hair was immortal. Grayson grabbed Janae's tight, cold fingers. Goodbye, he squeezed, and nausea boiled in his stomach. Bye, Janae. That's sad. Rubber gloves snapped as Grayson pulled them over his hands. He drew a flat tongue depressor from a glass jar on the counter and waited over the corpse. Janae's eyes bulged against her lids, and her lips swelled into fat, pale leeches. He pried the wooden stick under her right eyelid and peeled it back. Ew. Blood vessels glowed, and a yellow tint circled the iris. The pupil was flat and large, like a black olive. Janae's nails were gnawed and abused like they always were. No signs of struggle or fight. That's good. Grayson squeezed Janae's cheeks as he lowered the tongue depressor into her mouth. Wetness darkened the tip of the stick. Grayson slowly turned her head. A trickle of water dripped from Janae's mouth, sliding across the paper and dripping to the floor. What is this? Purge fluid? Grayson sniffed the air. Purge fluid had a strong smell, and he didn't smell anything. Grayson cringed as he lowered his nose toward the liquid. It looked like water, but this close. Sensed a slight ocean smell. Was Janae drinking salt water? Grayson walked to the top of the examination table and stood above Janae's head. The blood clung near the roots of her hair like the thick spaghetti sauce. Ooh. Grayson lifted Janae's hair and scanned her scalp. Congealed gore stuck to a small crescent-shaped wound at the crown of her head. He sifted through the hair. 1, 2, 3, 5. 5 cuts, not deep enough to be lethal, and slightly curved in a circular pattern, same as Greta. What causes 5 cuts like that? A makeshift weapon? Flesh-eating bacteria? A terrible hat? What? The wording sometimes. The ceiling light glowed against something on Janae's scalp. Grayson narrowed his eyes and leaned in closer. A small, sharp, translucent object protruded from one of the cuts, deep enough to be barely noticeable. Grayson went to the side table and returned with a pair of tweezers. The object peeled free from a crust of blood, and Grayson held it up. The ceiling lights reflected on the edges of a blood-stained fingernail. Hold on. Day 3 has ended. Time to sleep. 5 cuts doesn't really sound like flesh-eating bacteria to me. Yeah, it's just a longer scalp. Uh-oh, I think we have a bad dream. The cold sapped the air from Grayson's lungs, and his throat spasmed, letting out little huffing breaths. His eyelids were sealed shut. Where was he? Grayson's fingers tightened around a rod of lumpy iron as his legs wobbled beneath him. The wind tore at Grayson's shirt. Did he leave his house? The last thing he remembered was lying in bed. Below he could hear waves sloshing together, roaring and fighting. The ocean was an hour south of Trenton, but an unmistakably salty brine tainted the air. Metal creaked as gusts of air made the floor sway under Grayson's feet. Grayson licked his peeling lips and pulled at his eyes, which parted with a slight tear. Hot tears poured down his cheeks, freezing against his skin. Oh, this is spooky. The black spiral staircase spun indefinitely toward the swirling mop-water sky, plummeted hundreds of feet into a twinkling black ocean. Grayson stood stranded in the center of the massive iron structure. And thanks for the gifts on TikTok, Happen. I'm dreaming, Grayson said, his warm breath tearing through his lips. He pinched his arm. There was pain, but it was a numb, disconnected pain. I'm dreaming. The staircase leaned and wobbled, creaking and screeching in the wind. Nothing existed except the stairs, the sky, and the water. All trapped in a horrific snow globe of spinning ice. Grayson peeked over the railing. He could jump, slap the top of the water, and end this nightmare. Grayson bit his lips, soft, wet flesh. But what if he didn't wake up? What if... Fine. He gripped the railing as he descended the steps. This is the same staircase from the title screen. First, no matter how many steps Grayson took, the ocean didn't get any closer. He was stuck on a perpetual staircase that would never allow him any progress. Everyone has nightmares where they run as fast as they can, but never get any further from some horrible monster. Maybe this dream was like that? Eventually, the ocean's waves grew closer, and sea mist sprayed Grayson's cheek. What would he do once he reached the bottom? Swim? Drown? Hopefully he'd wake up. Further up the stairs, a voice sang. The railing vibrated between Grayson's fingers as foreign footsteps thudded down the staircase. There was someone else on the stairs. Grayson leaned over the railing and strained his neck upward. A blur of dark fabric, or maybe hair, descended the stairs several levels below. Wait. There was someone else on the stairs. Grayson leaned over the railing and strained his neck upward. A blur of dark fabric, or maybe hair, descended the stairs several levels above. A moment later, it came again, one level closer. Then again, the footsteps quickened. So this is actually giving me chills a little bit. Grayson ran, his hand burning as it slid along the railing. The icy water grew closer, the waves forming sharp points and splitting foam into psychedelic patterns. The shaking staircase vibrated Grayson's body, tenderizing his flesh. He took 2 steps at a time, nearly tripping down the stairs as he ran. Grayson rounded the final turn, and his legs tensed, holding him 1 step above the ocean. Waves sloshed at the bottom steps, turning the black iron into a rusty vomit orange. What now? Under the water, the steps continued spiraling deeper into the Black Sea. Footsteps shook the iron above Grayson's head, and suddenly, they were behind him. Cold breath, stinking of fish slime, soaked into Grayson's back. Cold tendrils, fingers, tentacles, or a tongue, he couldn't tell, brushed through Grayson's hair, running across his scalp. Grayson jumped, water spraying through his nostrils, burning his sinuses. Thick stew like water bubbled between his fingers, resisting his climb to the surface. Grayson's chest tightened, and his lungs stretched as he chewed upward. He breached the surface, scraping the slimy ocean from his eyes and mouth. Grayson didn't wake up. His shirt froze above the water, and his lungs refused to breathe, only taking in whiffs of air. Grayson scanned the ocean's surface. The black staircase sat empty. Whoever had been chasing him must have retreated back up the stairs. In the distance, a large hunk of ice floated on the water. Grayson's frozen muscles arched as he paddled toward the glacier. 2 figures stood on the ice, staring into the Black Sea. Hello, Jade. Hey. Grayson raised 1 hand, and a wave struck him in the face, filling his mouth with salt. Help! He stretched his fingers toward the ice. Help! 2 figures turned their heads. Dad? Grayson's fingers slipped as he tried climbing from the water. Help me! Grayson's father stared. His lips pressed into a blank expression, the black water swirling in his eyes. Mom! Mom, help! Stinging returned, muffling out the sound of crashing waves. Dad! Grayson screamed and his throat burned, but his voice was silent. Grayson awoke to knotted sheets soaked in cold sweat. He pushed his hand to his chest, his heart raced. What was that? He'd never had a dream like that. Not ever. Grayson ran a hand across his face and through his hair. He recoiled at a sudden pain in his scalp. He prodded at the top of his head and winced. The skin felt tender. Okay, so the main character definitely has the sleeping sickness that the game's titled after. Causes weird dreams, I suppose. That means Scarlet at the airport is also seeing stuff like this. Search the neighborhood and make sure everyone's alive. Kind of concerned about Scarlet. I hate Dr. Gill, but I need to help to fight whatever has infected Trenton. What y'all think? Should we go check on Scarlet? We were there earlier and she had a book about weird dreams. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards. Take a drink. To be honest, I don't really care about Seth too much. Seth's a religious nut. And we can also check the clinic. And out of these options, I feel like checking on Scarlet is the best move. Don't want another death. Scarlet it is. And normally people are more active, but everyone's really quiet today. That's fine though, people just want to lurk. What the hell is he doing here? Grayson muttered as he pulled his coat over his mouth. Oh no, Seth's here actually. Hey Chrome, sleep well. Vote for less preachers. We found the preacher anyway. What the hell is Seth's silver van was parked lopsided near the airport's runway, still running and stinking of burned oil. The old fool always made things more difficult. Yelling voices amalgamated into an uninterpretable mumble. Grayson peeked into the van's back seat as hot exhaust poured over his boots. Luggage filled the trunk. You know what? You need to talk to Dyer, Scarlet said. He gave me the call, okay? I don't want to talk to Dyer, Seth said, hissing through clenched teeth. And I don't care to talk to you. Scarlet smiled and waved. Bye-bye. Seth stood with his back to the van, his hands in his pockets. 1, 2, 1, 2. His head bobbed slightly as he spoke. For those who weren't here earlier, Seth is like an 80-year-old religious old man. He was not very nice before. Scarlet's eyes, sharp as shattered glass, flashed to Grayson and back to Seth. Go count somewhere else, nut. Nut. It's my plane. Seth jabbed a shaking finger toward the hangar. My property. 345. Princeton rattles his head. Keeping it from me is stealing. It's unconstitutional. I haven't paid your hangar fee in 3 months, Scarlet said. Go away, or I will fly your plane into the Prince William. I swear I will. She turned to walk away, but Seth grabbed her arm. I'm done asking. Now I'm telling. Scarlet's face tightened as she clenched her fist and punched Seth in the mouth. Don't touch me. Seth slid on the hovercraft, falling back onto the van's hood. 1, 2, he said, whimpering as he rubbed his face. You're a whore. God knows it, and I know it. That's enough. For all of God's knowledge, he didn't bless you with any. I just want my plane. My plane, it's mine. Airport's closed. Lock key closed, understand? The plane may be yours, but the runway is not. And by the way, I didn't order the airport closed. Dyer did, and he may not love God as much as you, but he loves gabbing, so go talk to him. Dyer can't dictate what I do with my property, Seth said. So that's enough. Grayson grabbed Seth's shoulder and straightened him out. Go home. Seth jerked away, nearly slipping again. Go to hell. You and Dr. Gill are in on it. Tires crunched through the snow as the Trenton police truck rolled to the curb. Darkness pooled in the wrinkled crevices of Seth's face. You called the cops? He asked. No, Scarlet sneered. I'm sure he's just here to flirt, so if you want the airport open so bad, you better put on some makeup. Oh my god. The truck door clicked open and Dyer stepped into the snow. Hey guys, is everything okay? Seth wants to talk to you, Scarlet said. Okay, we can talk. I've done enough talking, Seth spun around. Why don't you see it? We're all going to... Sharp wind roared across the runway, kicking snow through the air and carrying the humming of an untuned wind harp. You hear that? You hear her, don't you? You're not in trouble, Dyer said. Let's talk, and I can explain some things. You hear her, Seth said. eyes shaking. It's the wind, Grayson said. Liar. You don't think that. It's her, the woman from the stairs. Emotion drained from Grayson's face as the humming grew more intense. The stairs? Did Seth have the same dream? Seth slammed his palms into the van's hood. We need to get out of Trenton. Jeez. Mr. McClure. Dyer smiled and rested a hand on his utility belt. Can I please ask you to step away from the van? Please, in the name of God, let me go. Grayson backed away. You had the dream? Of course I did. She's going to kill us all. I'm going to have to insist you step away from the van, Mr. McClure. Hold on. Let me talk to him. Said I'm done talking. Mr. McClure, Dyer said, his voice cracking. Step back, please. No, you can't stop me. Seth reached under his belt. Plastic clicked and Seth raised a long-barreled pistol. Oh god, he's got a gun! His entire body tensed and his eyes bulged like he just stepped on a buried electric wire. Seth gripped the gun in both hands, pointed the barrel at each of them, and studied the sight on Scarlet. I want my plane. Seth said, I don't want blood. It'll drip before I'm deprived of my God-given rights. Not tears, but a wetness dripped from Seth's eyes, causing his cheek to twitch. Go. Take your plane and go. Grayson slid his feet along the ice, positioning himself behind the old fool. Seth didn't seem to care. The young doctor wasn't a threat for some reason. This could be Grayson's chance. Carter's revolver weighed heavy in his coat pocket. Grayson could put a bullet in Seth's leg. No killing required. By the power of Jesus and this gun I found. Newt. Oh no, Seth, no. Dyer fumbled with his belt, struggling to pull his silver revolver. Drop the gun. Drop it now, okay? Bud? Give me the keys. Seth jerked his pistol forward and Scarlet flinched. I'll give you the keys. They're on a hook in my office. They are all yours. Grayson pressed his lips together. Now was his chance. Grayson tried lunging forward, but his foot caught on the icy runway. He slammed his hand into the van's door, keeping himself from falling. Seth looked back, his arms tense, and a gun's report ripped through the air. Movies, when someone's shot, they crumble or fly backward. What a load of crap. Seth flinched, and a black pool spread across his stomach. He looked around, sauntered a few steps, touched his belly, and sat in the snow. He blinked, lifted his pistol, and glared at it like he'd never seen one before. Oh, Dyer is shooting. Dyer fired 2 more times. Seth plopped limply to the runway, and Scarlet covered her mouth. My god. Grayson dropped to his knees beside Seth. Is he, Dyer swallowed. Is he alright? Smoke swirled from the end of his revolver. I didn't get him too bad. Is he okay? Is he okay? Seth's lizard neck swelled, and he exhaled gravel as he tapped his coat pocket. Grayson lifted Seth's coat flap and pulled a small red and white bottle. 150 milligram caffeine pills. Seth turned his head into the snow, and clear liquid dripped from his mouth. A glaze of ice covered his eyes, and his chest deflated. Is he alright? Dr. Gray, is Mr. McClure alright? No. Grayson tucked the caffeine pills into his pocket. You shot him 3 times. Oliver fumbled from Dyer's fingers, thudding into the snow. No, I didn't get him too bad. He had a gun. He was gonna shoot Scarlet. He was gonna kill Scarlet. He was. Scarlet nodded. He's dead. Grayson stood and brushed off his knees. You did the right thing. Black snakes of gore slid across the hardened snow. The wind returned, clearing the smell of gunpowder, bringing the agonizing sound of humming. Oh, we only have one choice now. To the clinic. I should have stuck to coffee. Yeah. Caffeine pills are no fun. Dim light scattered through the clinic's vapid foyer as Dr. Gill slouched in a chair, whiskey glass in hand. Resident, he pointed at one of the torn waiting room chairs, and the ice tinkled in his glass. Sit down. You're drinking? Grayson asked. Candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. Dr. Gill wrapped his fingers around the neck of a black velvet bottle. In the dim light, it looked like a bottle of ink. Besides, Dr. Gill continued, I need this to keep warm since you put a crack in my door. Grayson peeked over his shoulder, the door shut, but not completely, letting an icy breath permeate the room. The door was locked. For a reason. Grayson tucked his hands into his coat pockets. We need to plan our next move. Dr. Gill puckered his lips and nodded. Good. He filled his whiskey glass, the bottle gloving until the liquid swelled. It's like chess, and our next move will be grand indeed. He rushed the glass to his lips, spilling a little, and slurped the bulging liquor down. Medication, effective, no prescription needed. Grayson closed his eyes. Stop. Stop what? Ever taken anything seriously? Do you have any pride or intelligence? Maybe. Dr. Gill narrowed his eyes. Shall I check? People are dying. We're doctors. You're a resident. Still a doctor. Grayson wiped his hand over his mouth. Put down the glass so we can work on fixing this. I'll begin brewing the magical elixir at once. Actually, Dr. Resident Grayson, I have something for you. Pulled a folded paper from his coat, pocket, and smiled. Here, this is for you. Here you go. Take it. He sat up, spilling whiskey down his fingers, and handed the paper to Grayson. Your evaluation, written up, glowing, as promised. Peeled the paper open. The Alaskan State Medical Board. Oh, this is in Alaska? Makes sense with all the snow. It's time to write the evaluation for my lovely, cute, grumpy resident, Dr. Grayson. My hand trembles in excitement. Allow me to title this evaluation 50 Shades of Grayson. Oh my god, that's so stupid. So the statement that there are indeed 50 Shades of Grayson is an extreme exaggeration of Grayson's versatility and expression. Dr. Grayson is not intelligent. His grades through medical school are proof. When given the chance to grow, Dr. Grayson wilted like a sunflower in a pot of foam peanuts on the moon's dark side. Savage. If I could say one positive thing about Dr. Grayson, I would say pass. Dr. Grayson was to live long enough to finish his residency. Perhaps he could develop into a mediocre small-town phlebotomist? However, this outcome is impossible, as Dr. Grayson will die in Trenton with the rest of us. XOXO, Dr. Gill. Screw yourself. Burn my corpse and drink my ashes. Oh my god, this person is so angry. Glowing evaluation. Dr. Gill stifled a growing chuckle, shining like the eyes of the devil or a hunk of uranium. You're giving up. Grayson's fingers creased the note. Dr. Gill wriggled, getting comfortable in his chair. You know what the best part is? The smile vanished, replaced by a look of bored seriousness. I truly meant every word. You are a useless imbecilic parasite. Dang. Grayson tore the letter in two, and the paper floated to the floor. Dr. Gill laughed. Hey, I worked hard on that. Grayson grabbed a waiting room chair and hurled it into a framed image of the Alaskan mountains, creating a spiderweb of shattered glass. Dr. Gill laughed harder and dumped whiskey into his lap. That really went there. Grayson ran to the reception desk and grabbed a wad of sticky notes, ripping them apart and throwing paper across the room. Kicked over a potted plant, snapped the laptop over his knee, tossed wellness pamphlets like confetti. His chest swelled and his brain swam in a dizzy glee. I think you have some things to add to your evaluation. Gill's chair was empty and his whiskey glass sat half full on the table. Dr. Gill had stopped laughing. Grayson spun around. Dr. Gill stood in the doorway. His fingers curled, bloodless, around a shining scalpel. What are you doing? Grayson asked. That poor laptop. Dr. Gill shrugged. Are you done with your tantrum? He licked his lips and pointed the blade toward Grayson. Did you have a nightmare last night? Grayson didn't answer. He stepped slowly across the waiting room floor, and the scalpel followed him. I did. It was terrible. A storm, a staircase, the ocean. I couldn't go up. There was something there. I had to go down. He nodded. I had the dream. He raised one hand cautiously. Put down the knife. On a chunk of ice, I saw my kids, Steve and Sasha. You've never met them. They don't live in Trenton. They live in Calgary with their mother. I would have loved seeing her stranded on a hunk of ice. Did you see anyone? My mom and dad. I'm sorry, Dr. Gill said. From his tone, he actually meant it. I think I figured out our sickness, at least a little. And scalpel in his fingers, letting light slide along the blade. Not in a chew, bless you, you too type of situation. No, I don't think so. This is what I came here for, Grayson said. I want to help. Lower the knife, and let's work on fixing this. I think the virus spreads through our dreams, Dr. Gill said. Greta must have had the same dream. It doesn't make sense, and I don't have evidence. No control groups, and certainly no peer reviews. But I have something even better. Dread. A father's dread. I'm terrified for the lives of my children. Your kids are hundreds of miles from here, Grayson said. It doesn't matter, Dr. Gill said, taking one step towards Grayson. I'm sure that whoever you see in your dream becomes infected. And it goes on until the entire world is dead. I don't know what causes it, but I think I know how to stop it. Dr. Gill pulled a black fabric case from his pocket and tossed it to Grayson. Here. What is it? Grayson flipped the case open, and the tip of a scalpel poked out. That one's for you. Consider it a graduation present. He raised the scalpel and extended his thumb like he was measuring a feature for a portrait. I have a theory I'd like to test. We can still stop this. We can get help. There are doctors in Anchorage that can help us. Wonder what would happen if I took myself out of the picture. Would my children avoid infection? Is that why Greta didn't sleep? Did she think Janae was in danger? But you help your children by helping me figure out how to stop this. I don't think I want to go to this clinic anymore. Father who loves his children doesn't take such risks. Close his eyes and lift the scalpel to his throat. Doctor, don't. Grayson lunged forward. I am faithful. I do not give out. Jerked his hand. Tiny rubies trickled down his throat. Grayson closed his eyes, and Dr. Gill's body thumped to the floor. Grayson stood in a silence so thick he could hear the carpet soaking up Dr. Gill's blood. He killed himself for what? An insane hunch? Dreams aren't physical things that viruses can fester in. But maybe it isn't a virus. Perhaps it's something different. Grayson stepped over Dr. Gill's corpse and walked into the Alaskan snow. Even in his last moments, Dr. Gill... very interesting timing to do that. Hello, Drake. Thank you, Dragon. Big sweetheart. Grayson stepped over Dr. Gill's corpse and walked into the Alaskan snow. Even in his last moments, Dr. Gill refused to do his job. Damn him, he didn't deserve to rest. Sorry about that. Grayson sat at the edge of his bed, staring at the digital clock's shining blue light. 11:05. If he slept tonight, would he ever wake up? Hi, Sleepy. The nightstand was bare and flat. Grayson patted his pockets. Where were Seth's caffeine pills? He turned his pockets inside out. Had he dropped them somewhere? Damn it. Grayson scanned the floor. Whatever. If he needed caffeine, he could put on a pot of coffee. He wasn't that tired right now anyway. Grayson walked to the room's tiny desk and sat down. He couldn't sleep. There was still time to find answers. 3 techniques for a good night's sleep? What is this? Avoid caffeine. Most people consume products containing caffeine, such as energy drinks or coffee. Caffeine can remain in your system for an extended period and can negatively affect your ability to sleep. 2. A hot shower. Body temperature needs to drop several degrees to fall asleep. Hot shower or bath will warm your body, making the temperature drop easier. Avoid screens. Lights from an electronic device can trick your brain into believing it's light outside. Stay away from laptops and cell phones. How do I accept death gracefully? That's dark. That's that staircase. Lies and coffee slander. And for those just coming in, this is a sleep sickness. It's a choose your own adventure book type game. Right now we seem to be dealing with something that kills people in their dreams. That's definitely a horror trope I've seen before. Most of the characters seem dead now, except for Scarlet. That's one thing all humans have in common. Healthy or sickly, humans die. Humans must accept death. Humans can't control when their end comes. Humans have no power to prevent their death. How to sleep. I'll be your sleep paralysis demon any day, Drake. Don't be afraid. Nightmares can't hurt you. Close your eyes. No one can stop it when the time comes. Go to sleep. It's time to sleep. God damn it, Morgana, what are you doing here? Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I watch you from your ceiling. Caden? Whoa, what was that? What actually was that? I didn't see it. I just saw like a flash of red. That was... I can only imagine what that was. Oh, that the fuck was that? Grayson slammed the laptop shut, drowning the room in darkness. What the hell was that? Did he doze off? Warm air hummed as it poured through the slits in the vent, filling the room with a dusty smell. Grayson squeezed his face as he stood, knocking the desk chair to the floor. He stumbled to the bathroom sink and splashed cold water on his face. That's what he needed. A cold bath. That would keep him awake. You don't want to know what that was. I'm gonna look at the clip later. Go to sleep. I think Oli needs to play this game. Maybe. He stumbled to the bathroom sink. Grayson peeled off his clothes and flung them to the floor. The tub's cold porcelain kissed his bare back as he lowered himself inside. He turned the faucet with his foot, and the metal spout shook. That's a skilled foot. Spewing freezing white water, Grayson's skin curled as the liquid crawled up his thighs, and the air left his lungs as the water poured across his stomach. No one could sleep in water this cold. Grayson gritted his teeth, closed his eyes, slowly pushed himself lower into the bath. It's how a freshly caught salmon displayed on a bed of ice must feel. He tried to laugh, but the cold stole his breath. Warm air hissed from the vent, humming softly. Grayson would need to turn the heater off. He needed the room to be torturously cold. What's these noises, though? Icy tendrils slid through Grayson's hair, and the humming vent grew louder. Grayson cringed, keeping his eyes closed. What would happen if Grayson fell asleep? Was he, Dr. Grayson, supposed to believe that sleep could hurt him? Maybe it was the ignorant fear of sleep that drove everyone in Trenton crazy. Grayson's spine slid along the tub as something pushed down on his head. Oh, that's spooky. Yes, Grayson needed to get closer. The water rose up his body, pushing his hair from his chest. Maybe Grayson was already asleep. The water passed his lips and nose. Grayson didn't hold his breath. He was only dreaming. He'd obviously fallen asleep. Why else would his laptop have acted so weird? In a cold bath? Grayson would have never done that. He hated chilly water. Yes, Grayson was sure he was dreaming about cold bath water. His lips flexed into a smile and water leaked into his mouth, spreading salt across his tongue. This is what it would feel like to jump into the North Pacific Ocean, yes. This is what it'd feel like to drown under the frozen waves of the Alaskan Sea. Huh. I think we died. Now, that was definitely a bad ending. Yeah, there's the picture of the staircase everyone has seen. Very spooky. No, it's definitely not very long. I wonder how... What could we investigate to avoid that? And suspecting that every ending might be a bad ending? Possibly. See, I think I'm gonna play again and see if we can rescue Janae. Because the first 2 days we were able to go see her, and we didn't. Still makes that 50 Shades joke. Yeah, I'm gonna go forward to the first choice. Yeah, there's the autopsy. Sake of time. I'm not gonna read this part again. Time is limited. Suns represent the number of places you can visit each day. Choose wisely. We're gonna go to Janae's house right away. What's that? Yeah, we never went to the schoolhouse. Never met this Liana person. Yeah, I want to see Janae. Despite the cold, Janae sat on her porch, ash dripping from a cigarette between her shaking fingers. The cold painted her nose and cheeks red. Snow crunched under Grayson's boots. Hey. Hey, Gray. A cloud of hot breath and smoke spun from Janae's lips. Are you here as a doctor or as a lover? I don't have to be a doctor right now. With one foot on the bottom porch step, I can just be Gray. Can you? Janae took a long hit off her cigarette and breathed a steady stream of smoke. Easier to separate the chill from snow. Try me. Sleep exhaustion excuse is bad. Yes, Grayson smiled. And why didn't you say so? Dr. Gill isn't convinced in his sleep exhaustion theory yet. How do you know? Because the trusty old doc didn't mention the 5 bloody holes in Greta's head. Grayson tapped his fingers on the porch's splintered railing. No, Dr. Gill, he doubts himself. That's cute. You two kiss in the back office when you're alone? Grayson swiped smoke from his face. Why didn't you tell anyone about Greta's sleeping problem? Janae glared across the street at a row of dark evergreens. He didn't think it was that bad. She didn't sleep for a week. What are you saying? It's my fault? No, but a week is a long time. Right. I should have called Dr. Grayson. He would have made everything better. I would have tried. Good for you. He stood. Too late now, because Mom is dead. All I had to do to save her was call my genius boyfriend. It's not what I'm saying. I reached for her hand, but she pulled away. I'm done. I've had enough of doctors today. Enough. I don't have to be a doctor right now. Yes, you do. You can't help it. I'm sorry, Grayson said. It's not your fault. None of this is. Janae's eyes swelled as they darted up to the clouds. Grayson took Janae's hands and set her on the porch's top step. I care about you. Your mom is gone, and I can't help her. I can discover why she's gone and give you some closure. You talk to me? I hand back to wipe a tear from her cheek. Fine. Thank you, Grayson said. Your mom may not have died from sleep exhaustion, but there could have been a connection. Mom shouldn't have been sleep exhausted. One bad endorsement for that wellness group Mom was in. One kid Sandra puts on? I'm not going back to that. Yeah, eventually you hit your second wind, but I think the longest I've ever stayed up was like 40 hours. I'm not good at it. You took Mom's money and didn't deliver anything. Yeah, did Greta ever talk about that? No, Liana was always around, and she hated the group as much as I did. Liana know about Greta's sleeping problem? No. And I didn't talk much, at least not to me. That's shocking. You're so approachable. Right. Chuckled as a wisp of smoke rose from the snow where the cigarette landed. Next you'll tell me smoking can kill you. It can, and it is. You should stay away. You'll get second-hand nicotine addiction. I can live with a little addiction. Grayson kissed Janae, tasting bitter tobacco. Janae smiled as she pulled her hands away. I'm gonna put a movie on and call it a day. Will you be alright? She shrugged. Maybe. I'll try to come back and see you soon. Janae folded her arms and stared across the street. The sun smeared golden orange juice along the tops of the trees. It isn't real. It isn't. She closed her eyes. I wish today could just be a dream, Grayson said. No, I like dreams. Some people don't dream, but I dream every night. Good. It's a sign of healthy sleep. But all my worst nightmares happen while I'm awake. We didn't really learn anything useful from that. Just keep checking on Janae. See if, like, anything significant changes. If she doesn't die this time, maybe? The wind rustled through the pine trees, and the green needles flexed like the quills of a porcupine. Grayson climbed Janae's porch and knocked. Footsteps thumped within the house, and a metal latch lurched open. Janae's wet hair dripped down her neck and chest. and the tone of her lips blended with her face. Hey, Gray, she smiled as she rubbed her eyes. How are you feeling? Wet and... Winston grabbed her ears. Janae? What's wrong? Vein slithered up her neck and she whimpered. Janae? You're okay, let me get you to the clinic. No, I'm fine. Her face softened. You're not fine. I am. She forced a weak smile. It's some ear pain. I've been having it all morning. Dug her pinky into an ear and twisted. I think I have an ear infection. It looked more painful than a typical ear infection. It wasn't too bad. It just caught me off guard. I hate ear pain. The wind's got a knife. You better get in here. Grayson followed her inside. I think you need to go in. I can check your ears and get you some antibiotics. I'm fine. Janae glanced over her shoulder. Do you want some coffee? Let me make it. Why don't you shut up and sit down for a minute? Janae turned the corner, disappearing into the kitchen. Okay, Grayson slumped onto the couch, sinking into its worn fluff. Janae's house was simple but charming. A shade quilt hung over the sofa, and a flat-screen television, kind that used thick glass and weighed as much as a car, sat against the wall with towers of DVDs at each end. Janae loved movies, primarily horror and romance, an exciting mix. She wasn't picky, and the quality of the film never mattered as long as the plot scared her or made her horny. Okay. Janae entered the room, carrying 2 mugs of coffee, steam swirling from the tops. Here. Grayson blew off the steam from the mug. The sweet smell of cream mixed with the earthiness of the coffee was almost better than the drink's flavor. You can't ignore it. You can go deaf from an ear infection. Drop it. Janae's cold arm brushed against Grayson as she picked at her ear. Worst part is the ringing. Something's been ringing in my ear since I woke up. It's called tinnitus, and I want to look. Not now. Jane sipped her coffee. Do you have any news about Mom? No. I wish I could give you all the answers. Janae shook her head. I don't know what to do. Barely slept last night and can hardly stay awake today. Can't imagine Mom staying up for an entire week. Me neither. Nodded toward the stack of DVDs. I can barely stay awake. They're your bad movies. Haha. Thanks for checking on me. Of course, you're my lady. You're my man. Warm breath flowed along Grayson's arm. I'm worried about you, Grayson said. I know. Janae ran her fingers along Grayson's chest. I'm glad that you have a logical brain. It keeps me grounded. Thanks? We usually hated Grayson's overly logical brain, Janae included, but even with your commitment to science and facts... Janae sat up, her hair hanging down her face. Have you ever had anything unexplainable happen to you? Like what? Have you had something unexplainable happen to you? Grayson asked. No. Then why are you asking me? Okay, yes, but you'd laugh. I won't. Yeah, you will. You're kind of an asshole. What is it? Grayson chuckled. He glared at her reflection on the television's black screen. What is it? He grabbed Janae's hand. I don't know. You trust me, right? Yeah, you can talk to me. Tucked her lips into her mouth. Okay, you can't think I'm stupid. Too late. Joke, I won't think you're stupid. You are brilliant. Romance can be horror. Janae pulled her feet up on the couch. A week ago, before Mom stopped sleeping, she told me about one of her nightmares. I pretty much forgot about it until today. And? I had the same dream last night. Isn't that crazy? Not really. What was the dream about? A black spiral staircase. That's not very nightmarish. It spiraled into the ocean. 2 people were waiting for me at the bottom of a glacier, on a glacier of ice. Ooh. That's weird. Every detail Mom described in her dream was the same as mine, except for the people waiting for me. For Mom, it was me and Carter. Carter? Doesn't matter. Isn't that crazy? How can you have the exact same dream as someone else? It's not that crazy. You think about Greta a lot yesterday. She's a constant in your mind. True. Your stressed out brain recreated the same dream Greta described to you. Grayson wriggled on the cushion. It's not crazy. It actually makes a lot of sense. It does, thanks. Need to relax. Grayson rested his hand on her leg. Yeah, I know. Washed your face. Are you gonna be okay? I'll be fine. I'll get back to work. Dr. Gill's got it out for me. Good idea. Jane hugged him. Thanks for checking on me. Go to the clinic and get your ear checked out. She rolled her eyes. I will later. You better. Sure. His dream was weird, but nothing unusual. Wait, you didn't tell me. Tell you what? Who was waiting for you at the bottom of the stairs? You said it was different in your dream. I don't think you'll like the answer. Now you have to tell me. Dr. Gill was one of them. What? Don't be too jealous. Janae leaned forward and kissed Grayson on the lips. The other person was you. Eerie. So it's absolutely transmitted how Dr. Gill said it was. I don't think this is weird. I think there's like a way to fight this. Might be like Tiger said, there's no happy ending to this situation. I'm not sure to check police department or clinic. I'm gonna pass on Scarlet this time. Didn't really give us any benefit last time. We have information on Carter and... well, Dr. Gill's kind of a jerk. Yeah, let's see if anything's different with Carter. Janae was a wonderful girlfriend, but she came with one ass of an ex-boyfriend. Yeah, it's at the start of day 3, both Janae and Carter died. So we'll see if we can save, if talking to them does anything. Grayson stood outside the police station, inches from the door. Why did it have to be this way? Janae and Grayson could have had a secret love affair. But nope, she wanted to do things the ethical way. A clump of snow rolled off the station's roof and splattered on the walkway. Doesn't matter what Carter thinks. Grayson inhaled, and anxiety burned in his lungs like spearmint. Dyer sat at his desk with his feet up. White wires ran from a handheld gaming console into his ears, and plastic clicks echoed through the department. Carter's desk was empty. This is different, I think. Grayson's lips curved into a smile. There was a rod way too far up Carter's you-know-what for him to let Dyer play video games on the job. But Carter must not be around. Grayson knocked on Dyer's desk. Hello. Hey, ripped the earbuds out. On break? How slow it is in town. The entire day can be my break. Maybe you could commit some crime and give me something to do? Okay, I like that. I wouldn't want to give Carter an excuse to put me in handcuffs. Scanned the dilapidated building. The floor tile faded. Yellow stains covered the ceiling, and dark splotches splattered the walls. Where is Carter? Sick. You're kidding. Dyer offered a fist bump, which Grayson accepted. Maybe God is real, Grayson said. Been praying hard enough. This is the first time the chief's called in for anything since I worked here. Amazing. Maybe I should make a house call. If the chief saw you on his property, he'd probably shoot you. Tapped her button rapidly. It didn't sound like a big deal. It said he had a tent knee on something. Or something. A tent knee? Yep, his ears were ringing. Tinnitus? Yeah, that's it. Screwed his chair next to Dyer's. Rainbows of light flashed on the game screen as a little spaceship fired lasers at robotic machines. I need to ask you something. About Greta? Yeah. Start talking. Dyer lifted the device. Don't worry, I can play and listen. You transported Greta's body to the clinic. Did you check her pockets? Sure. The chief made me do it. You find anything? A hunk of lint, is that all? That's all we found in her pockets. Find anything in the house? No, I don't think so. It made sense that Carter would want to hide information from Grayson. There was no doubt that Carter wanted to solve the case, swoop in, impress Janae, and win her back. Why would Dyer lie? Really? It's weird. I heard you two found something. Oh yeah? Who told you that? The digital ship flashed red as the robotic enemies closed in. Carter mentioned something to Dr. Gill. Chief didn't say anything about that. Dark red light flowed across the game screen. Game over. Dang. Carter doesn't want you to tell me? Is that correct? Dyer set the game on his desk and sighed. How did I get stuck in the middle of this drama? You and Carter friends? No. Are we friends? Heck yeah, we're friends. Dyer's such a nerd. Good. I need to know what you found at Greta's house. Dude, the chief will kill me. Please, for a friend. His body tensed like someone was pumping him full of air. He'd sailed into a windy growl. Fine. The chief can French kiss a garden gnome. Dyer wheeled his chair to Carter's desk. Yanked open the top drawer and pulled out an orange pill bottle. We found these on the kitchen table. The chief wouldn't even let me see them. Said there was no reason for my big mouth to spread slander. Grayson turned the bottle in his hand. Zolpidem tartrate? Huh? Ambien. It's a sleeping pill. And raised the bottle to the light. The prescription was filled in Wasilla a week ago. A month's supply, count 30. Grayson popped the lid and breathed the powdery scent. Did Greta overdose? Only 1 or 2 pills are missing. Not enough for an overdose. That's good. Don't want you to get into trouble, but I have to take these. Mayor nodded. I get it. I'm sorry. If Carter asks, blame me. Nah. If he asks, I'll tell him I popped them all and napped. You're a good friend. I know. Barry returned to his desk, tucked in his earbuds, and picked up his game. After Grayson walked a short way from the police station, he pulled the bottle from his pocket. Carter may hate Grayson, but he has a soft spot for someone. They found the bottle in Greta's house, but it wasn't hers. The prescription was made out to Liana Nugent. We didn't see Liana at all the last time. Screaming stabbed through the darkness, ricocheting off the walls. Grayson shot up, his bedsheets coiling around him. The screaming stopped, but traces lingered, dancing in the darkness. A red light blinked rhythmically on the house phone before it rang again. Dang, Grayson wiped the sweat from his face. The blue glow of a digital clock dithered against the wall. It was 6:25 a.m. He slowed his breathing and swiped the handset off the receiver. Hello? Dr. Grayson speaking. Gray? Oh, Hal. Grayson glanced back at the clock. They had no appointments today, and the clinic didn't open until 8. What is it? Are you feeling all right? I'm tired. What do you want? Is there a reason for this call? Chief Carter died this morning. What? How? Line popped with Dr. Gill's staticky breath. I don't know. Like everything else going on. I don't know. Is it like Greta? Exactly. 5 small wounds on his scalp. Otherwise, the cause of death is unknown. You're kidding. Give me 10 minutes, I'll get dressed, and I'll be at the clinic. Not done. This is the same as before. Yeah, Janae died too, so nothing has changed. At least we got to see her this time. Oh, this is new, though. Yesterday at Janae's house, did Grayson tell Janae he loved her? No, of course not. He never told her. They never spoke like that. Why had he never told her? He did love her. He loved her. Are you there? Yes. I'm on my way. Need you to stay there. The phone fell from the nightstand as Grayson yanked the handset towards the dresser. You're not listening. I know it's hard for you, but think. 1. Greta Tanner, now 3. Chief Carter and Janae. You know what that tells us? Grayson didn't respond as he pulled up a pair of jeans. There this is. It's spreading. It's deadly and it's contagious. Already have it. Yeah, this is the same. I mean... see if Liana has anything to say. Like, Liana is a clue. Needs to explain herself. Grayson stood outside the schoolhouse, glaring at the pill bottle in his hand. Liana Nugent. In the parked cars and apartment complexes of America, people traded pills like playing cards, building a deck that would eventually deal them their last breath. But in Trenton, and with Liana, Grayson tucked the pills into his coat pocket. There was no excuse, she knew better. Grayson stepped across the school's sweat-stained carpet as the dying furnace pumped a burning smell through the building. Liana sat on a chair in the center of the school's gym, a space barely big enough for a half-court. The lights were off, but frost-crusted windows flooded the room with gray light. Grayson cleared his throat. Miss Nugent? Liana's body tightened, and her neck stretched as she turned. Dr. Gray? Grayson's steps echoed as he walked across the gym's warped floor. He put his foot on a basketball next to Liana's chair. Do you play? No. I like it in here because it's quiet. The whole town is quiet. A flinch with each vibrant thump and echo of the basketball. It's a little flat. He watched the hoop as he jumped into a shot. The ball hit the rim, shaking the metal, and thumped to the floor, deathly flat. Anna forced a weak smile and nodded. Ever been to Wasilla? Yes, my sister lives there. Do you see a doctor in Wasila? No. Hmm. I held up the Ambien. The police found these pearls in Greta's house. He shook the pills. So? Looks like you've handed out more than just standardized tests. Oops, Bob, like a fish struggling in the mud. Don't know how you got those. But Grace nodded back. Did you give these to Greta? No. Why were they at her house? I don't know. I left them there by mistake. Of course. You can't visit your friend's house without bringing your sleeping pills. I want to talk to Dr. Gill. Good. Explain to Dr. Gill why you went to a clinic in Wasila for Ambien. It was... Her head jerked into her arm to cover a fit of barking coughs. Cystic fibrosis is acting up. Since starting my residency in Trenton, you've never let me sit in on one of your appointments. I don't take it personally. You have that right. I walked across the gym toward the basketball. But Dr. Gill fills me in. He picked up the ball and bouncing it with a thud, flat thump. You've never complained about sleeping problems. I was... And his hand crawled into her shirt pocket, pulling out a yellow handkerchief. She held the cloth to her mouth and slowly her breathing returned, and the coughing ceased. I'm not attacking you, Grayson said, but I need to know why you gave Greta Ambien. Whistled from Leona's lungs. She needed them. Why? Greta couldn't sleep, Leona said. She refused to see a doctor. Greta was always clear-headed. She was so smart. A watery glaze covered Leona's eyes. I hated seeing her like that. Her skin sank off her bones, and she babbled. She wasn't Greta anymore. She tapped a tear off her cheek. I wanted Greta to be normal again. I didn't think she'd overdose. I didn't want to hurt her. Grayson dropped the basketball and kicked it away. Greta didn't overdose. Fine strained against her shirt as she sobbed. Most of the pills are still there. Jerked away, her eyes blazing. Don't touch me. Sorry. I'm taking these pills. You never had the right to have them in the first place. Nodded. Fine, you're right. She squeaked as he turned to leave. Doctor? What's happening in Trenton? Glared down the floor and clicked his tongue. In a small town like this, one death leaves a big hole. Not talking about Greta. And her iris pulsed with threads of lightning. Haven't you seen it? It's everywhere. She pointed upward. The ceiling suffocated in shadows. A large hanging bulb failed to fight off the sea of shades. What's wrong? It's so dark. It shouldn't be that dark. Grayson tried to smile, but his lips remained straight. Winter's on the way. Everything gets a little darker in winter. Let's check Janae's house. Thick dark clouds impaled themselves on the distant mountain peak, eager to die in a world so gray. Orange light swirled the windows of Janae's house, and the sound of television. Static bled through the door. Grayson climbed the splintering porch steps and knocked. God, let Janae's footsteps dance through the house toward the door. Please, God. What did Lazarus do that made him more worthy than Janae? What this reminds me of? It reminds me of that really old Flash game where it's like the end of the world and you're a doctor trying to make a vaccine. Has anyone played that? Like, it's like a 15-year-old game at this point. There's like all YouTube videos about it. It really reminds me of that. And like basically everyone in that game, like everyone in the world dies, but you can choose to, in the end, you can like save yourself and your daughter if you do things properly. But it was a game that only let you play it once. Like, choices matter sort of thing. That's what it makes me think of. I forget what it's actually called. But, yeah. I'm gonna take a drink. Let me see, let me look that up. Yeah. It's the video I watched on it. Okay, yeah, it's literally just called One Chance. No, that's the game I'm thinking of. To be confused with One Shot. Hmm. Grayson opened his eyes. That's right, death is final, and God doesn't answer prayers. Swallowed. He glanced over his shoulders and opened the door. Television blasted static at full volume. Grayson scanned the room for the remote and flicked the TV off. What were you doing? Watching the ants race? Grayson followed his nose to the kitchen, which wet coffee grounds plopped in the sink. Grayson smiled and pressed his finger into the moist stack. Janae used to dump all her grounds in the disposal because she liked her house reeking like a cheap diner. Either that or cigarette smoke. Would he ever smell coffee again without thinking of her? His phone, decorated in worn stickers, sat on the kitchen table. The glass screen shined against the ceiling light. Grabbed the phone and tapped in Janae's password. Cassandra? Gray. XOXO. Oh wow, we can actually see what Gray looks like. Mom, Liana. Actually looking at the text message. I know you don't want to hear from me. Nope, but here you are. Are you taking everything? Great. I'm always here for you, you know that? Cardex. Talked to her, she wanted to come. Because you talked her into it. She should come once, it's nothing crazy. Leave my mom alone. I heard about Greta, I'm so sorry. Janae has a funny sense of humor. Watch a movie? Not tonight. Worried about mom. What's up? Just second off. Need anything? I can't. Why? You can't live like that. Be fine. I'll sleep soon. Love you. Calling a doctor. Doing this for you. She wants you. Oh. The sleep demon. She's clearly referring to that. Have a nice shower, Tiger. It's been lovely meeting you. How is she? Very sleepy. You try talking to her? I'll try. Dr. Lennon, Greta didn't have trouble sleeping. She was keeping herself awake voluntarily, but why? How could anyone do that? A bump of nausea fell in Grayson's stomach as he leaned forward. Janae said that Greta had trouble sleeping. She lied, but why? Why didn't Janae trust Grayson? He was there for her always. I think so too.
Huh?
Yeah. Us foxes know how to have the most fun, I would say. Grayson's eyes widened and his grip tightened around the phone. Janae wasn't the only liar. Liana, the Ambien. Liana said she gave Greta the pills because she couldn't sleep. That's a bunch of crap. A soft voice hummed through the house. Grayson's head snapped toward the living room and he dropped the phone on the counter. A melody, soft and juvenile, sang somewhere in the living room. Grayson turned the TV off, right? Was it a radio? Oh, I don't like this voice. No, it couldn't be. The voice was too smooth, free of static imperfections. Grayson's mouth dried as creaking footsteps pattered across the adjacent room. He tried to call out, but couldn't make a sound. Grayson stepped toward the living room as the humming melody grew in volume. The savory smell of copper and salt overtook the coffee as Grayson rounded the corner. I'm kind of scared. I swear if there's like Junji Ito style page turn right now. Okay. The singing instantly died, and the living room was empty. Grayson's reflection stared at him from the TV screen. Hello? Silence, but the weird salty smell remained. Grayson struggled to swallow. Hello? The house was empty. Grayson's eyes shifted to the stairs. Where had the singing come from? Ugh. television burst to life, flooding the room in a flash of nuclear light. Static roared, gurgling as it chewed on a mix of signals. Son of a bee. Grayson lunged forward, pushing the television aside, and ripped the plug from the wall. Silence filled the house. This was eerie. Stupid. Grayson stepped back, stumbling for the door, his legs turned to rubber, and dizziness sloshed across his eyes. He gripped the knob and pressed his body into the door. Grayson trotted down the porch steps, kicking a pile of cigarette butts as he fled. Who wired that damn house? Tucked his hand in his pockets and pushed his head down. Maybe it was a ghost? More than likely, it was just God playing a sinister trick. Once or twice, Grayson thought he heard a soft singing voice following him down the road, but it was just the wind. Stupid freaking wind. To sleep. Cold snapped the air from Grayson's lungs. Where was he? Grayson's fingers tightened around a rod of lumpy iron as his legs wobbled beneath him. Wind tore Grayson's shirt. Did he leave his house? I think he remembered was lying in bed. You don't know. You gotta not sleep, or the sleep demon will get you, Shinigami. Don't let the sleep demon get you. It's some singing lady. Although he could hear waves sloshing together, roaring and frightening. Is this the same dream sequence as before? Picked his peeling lips and pulled at his eyes. There was a slight tear. Massive iron structure. I'm dreaming. I think this is the same one. And you can see his mom and dad. Janae dreamed about a black spiral staircase descending into the ocean. Greta dreamed the same. What did this mean? How could people have the same dream? Is there a psychological explanation for this? No, there's more happening here than psychology. Good jump, slept top of the water and end this nightmare. There's Shinigami. Didn't get any closer. Yeah, this is the same as before. I don't want to retread things we've already read, but yeah, he gets chased, he swims, and he sees his parents on the ice. Yeah, just verifying it's the exact same. Awoke. Skin on his scalp is tender. Leanna lied about the Ambien. Let's keep pursuing this thread, I guess. Leanna pressed her face against a Polaroid camera and aimed it across the street, toward the community center. Grayson waited, but the camera didn't flash or click. Liana stood unmoving like she was caught in one of her pictures. Liana, we need to talk. It's about Greta. The camera shuddered and growled as it ejected a Polaroid. Liana snagged the picture and waved it through the air. More questions. 1. Why did you lie? Liana pushed the developing image to her chest. Did Greta have a sleeping problem? That's what you told me. He found the pill bottle in his pocket and pinched it between his fingers. His pale lips twitched and her shallow eyes scanned Grayson's face. Fine, stew in silence. Picked a clump of snow, seen shards of slush soaring through the air. Listened to a voicemail from Greta's doctor. Greta didn't have sleeping problems. She was intentionally staying awake. Greta didn't need or want your Ambien. It's not true. Did you kill her? Of course not. No, Greta was my friend. Then why are you lying? I didn't know. Grayson pulled the bottle from his pocket and shook it. Why are there pills missing from this bottle? Now peeked down at the Polaroid, where wraiths of white shade slowly appeared, forming the outline of the community center. Come on, why? Then blinked and her eyes transformed into glass bulbs. I didn't think it would. Coffee. Coffee? Put Ambien in Greta's coffee. It wasn't a lethal dose. 2 pills. Doctor said 2 pills would be okay. The doctor said, you drugged Greta to sleep. I had to. Anna reached out with trembling fingers. Greta was sick. She needed medicine. She needed me to give her medicine. I left the bottle. I just forgot it. But I didn't know it would be important. Greta needed sleep. Just sleep. You drugged her. You don't understand. I had to help her. By slipping her drugs? How could you? How? He spilled hot air through his teeth. His eyes dropped to the snow. 3 years ago, Grayson's mother sprained her ankle. She was a stalwart believer in alternative medicine and wouldn't so much as sniff a vitamin, but she was in so much pain. Grayson crushed 2 acetaminophen into her stupid herbal tea. The best tea she'd ever had, and boasted the effectiveness of alternative medicine. How bad was she? Grayson asked. Horrible. Iana's lips curled. She wouldn't sleep, but said she couldn't. Said she had to stay awake no matter what. Greta was terrified. Of what? Ugly sounds. I don't like that. This is like Silent Hill kind of ambience. This is nonsense. The hanging mother, Iana said, looking down at the Polaroid, then pressing it to her breast. Greta was scared of the hanging mother. Humming intensified. Who is she? I don't know. Dr. Grayson, are you okay? The humming, it hurts my head. What humming? Bit his lip. And I couldn't hear it. How could she not? Some tinnitus. It's been hurting my head. Then slowed, and the humming faded. Grayson exhaled. Greta heard the humming too. The hanging mother tried to lull her to sleep. My hanging mother. Is she a ghost with a noose around her neck? She clung to Greta's ceiling. That's how she watched her. I didn't think she was real. I wanted to help my friend. Did I kill Greta? No. The shadows are so dark. It doesn't make any sense. How do they get so dark? Did you have a nightmare last night? Shook her head. I don't hear the humming either, but I will. I think Hanging Mother is watching us. She knows that you're up to something. Push the Polaroid into Grayson's hand. I don't like this. Let's consult with Dr. Gillick, I think. I don't think Scarlet or Seth are particularly helpful. This is the same scene as before. Still a doctor. Pride or intelligence? Maybe. Shall I check? People are dying. We're doctors. You're a resident. Put down the glass so we can work on fixing this. Begin brewing the magical elixir at once. The doctor, isn't I have something for you. Yes, the same, I think. What I came here for. Yeah, and then he unalives himself. Still time to find answers. Oh, we're gonna get that jump scare again. Go to sleep. I watch you from your ceiling. Yeah. Okay, I saw it that time. That's a good one. Yeah, I think this is the same ending. 4 out of 6. What does that mean? Oh, we found another plot thread, but we got the same ending. Like I said, this game is pretty well written, I feel. What if it's like we can like work on it if we go to the clinic more? we haven't talked to Cassandra at all yet, so let's go there. They were in that wellness group, actually. We go to the community center. A mop bucket of dirty water spilled across the sky, and the clouds hungrily absorbed the filth. People die on sunny days and stormy days, but today it really looked like someone died. The Trenton Town Hall was ugly. Tan vinyl siding, orange roof tiles, and an antique wooden door jutted from the center of a gravel lot. The loose doorknob wobbled and left the scent of rust on Grayson's hand. The spongy floor creaked as Grayson stepped across the flat purple carpet. Pushpins held photos, newspaper clippings, and advertisements to the wall. A hodgepodge of papers, a crisp pamphlet stood out. Sleep wellness course. Connect with people you love, understand your dreams, make sleep more restful and spiritual. Grayson rolled his eyes. A tiny town like Trenton was lucky to have a clinic, yet they still clung to what Grayson's mother called magic medicine. People can believe what they want. Crystals, positive energies, magic. Keep it in mall stalls and away from the medical field. A sound of clinking metal came from the adjacent conference room. Good, someone was here. Cassandra tucked a tangle of gold hair behind her ear as she unfolded a metal chair. Grayson leaned in the doorway. I didn't know you actually did work here. Don't know most things. We need 10 more chairs. Pointed to a cart of stacked folding chairs. Get to work. Yes, Miss Mayor. Grayson grabbed a chair, fumbling it into the open position. Is this for your wellness group? No, it's for Greta's viewing. Janae asked you to do this? Janae doesn't talk to me. We don't have a church, so where else would she put it? Good point. Are you religious, or does worship scare you? It scares me. Isn't that why you became a doctor? So people would worship your intellect? Maybe you can build a church to yourself here in Trenton. That'd be great. You could finally believe in something real. She leaned against a wooden podium at the end of the room. Will you move this for me? Hell no. Too heavy? Correct. Fine. Janae can use it for flowers or photos. Sandra ran a finger along the marred wood. Discomfort brewed in her eyes. What happened to Greta? Popped into a metal folding chair. Good question. The chair creaked as Grayson leaned back. You know Greta went a full week without sleeping? No. I knew she was having difficulty sleeping, but I thought it was just a few nights. Grayson opened his eyes and glared at the white orb mounted to the water-damaged ceiling. Did you tell Greta to stay awake? What? You host a sleep wellness group. Maybe you told her that staying awake for a week would unlock hidden powers. You're not funny. I'm serious. Seriously deranged. I loved Greta. Didn't just lose a group member, I lost a friend. Right. In a small town like Trenton, everyone is pretty much family, and Grayson was the exchange student. You didn't tell her to do anything? I never told Greta to do anything that wasn't healthy. Your idea of health isn't the same as mine. Shut up, or I'll give you some health advice you won't like. Fine. I'll trust you for now. Sandra bounced on her toes. I don't know if anything else was wrong with Greta. Like, I don't know. Did Greta complain about anything? Pain? Weird sounds? Cuts or wounds? His lip. Greta had 5 wounds on her skull, but no one knew about that except Dr. Grill and Grayson. Why are you asking? I'm curious. Grayson trusts Cassandra? No other symptoms or wounds we know of. If you know of any, I'd love to hear it. No, I wish I could tell you more. Me too, Grayson groaned. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your help. You're not as useless as Dr. Gill claims. What can I say? I'm versatile. When did Greta last attend one of your wellness groups? Last time we had one, 4 days ago. What'd you talk about? Why? Just curious. Give me a good answer and maybe I'll join your group. No, thank you. We talked about dreams, their meaning, and how to have good ones. Really know how to do that? Sure, how? Sandra smiled. Try looking it up in one of your medical books. Me too. You can get info from Janae and then work on it. Yeah, this should be like the same thing. Yeah, this is the same thing we've already seen. Other person was you. Now let's go to the clinic. Darkness clung to the waiting room's walls, and stillness floated in the air. There was never a receptionist behind the counter, or a patient sitting in the waiting room. In a town like Trenton, you worked with scattered appointments only. Hello? Dr. Gill? The old bastard was there ignoring Grayson. Doctor? At his desk, peeping at a laptop over a pair of reading glasses. I've been calling, I know. Leaning toward the monitor, 1 and 2. Shush, sit down and be quiet. Grayson sat in a thin plastic chair and folded his arms. Dr. Gill was probably writing Grayson's evaluation right now, thinking the most slanderous statements possible. Just need a moment to send this email. My light struggled to illuminate the office through a dirty window. A layer of grime coated a synthetic plant in the corner, and a framed collection of bottle caps, most dented and rusted, filled the room with a metallic smell. Gill slapped the laptop closed. What do you want? I thought you wanted an update. Only if you have something significant to report. Talk to Cassandra about her wellness group, Grayson said. Learn anything? Greta was a member, but the group doesn't appear to be up to anything malicious. Appears the key word. I leaned back in his chair and glared at the ceiling. Try talking to Scarlet. She's in the group too. Yes, boss. The Gill stood, bumping his desk, and approached the door. You're a better detective than a doctor, he said. I still think you'd be at your best in the sanitary department. Hi, Enroll. Hope you're doing well. I'm just doing this choose your own adventure book game. Should I add death threats to your evaluation? It's not a threat, I'm just amazed at diagnosing old bastards. Dr. Gill opened the door. Follow me. I have Greta's blood results. Already? 40-minute flight, a rush order, a phone call. It's amazing what you can get when you have friends. Greta's blood has traces of sulfidum tartrate. Ambien. How much? A non-lethal amount. Ambien's a sleep aid. She'd need a prescription. I never wrote her one, did you? Of course not. Anyone in Trenton take Ambien? In fact, got their ticket punched somewhere else. I haven't shipped a prescription for sulfidum tartrate in years. Maybe she paired the drug with alcohol and the effect killed her. Maybe. What are you gonna do? Grayson asked. I'm gonna write your evaluation. One for if you succeed and one for when you fail. You have more investigating to do. Yep, this is the same thing. There's gotta be like surely there's like a specific path of things that you can do to get the best ending. I'm not sure what it is. Can't actually go to the airport. Thank you. Nice to see you, Enroll. Always lovely. Let's see what Cassandra says. Like, what's the Cassandra path? Last round was going well, so you went to clinic. Yeah. I feel like the clinic is what you have to do to, like, make a cure, if that's even possible. What was that smell? Something burned inside the community center, and nausea sloshed in Grayson's stomach. Someone light a firecracker in the lobby? Cassandra? A single of light shined through the cracks of Cassandra's office door. Grayson's dry tongue spread slime across his mouth. Cassandra? Go down the hall. He walked to her office, and the smell evolved. Rusted metal danced with particles of gunpowder. Grayson quickened his pace as needles prickled across his skin. Cassandra? Strength drizzled from Grayson's voice as he spoke. What did you do? Grayson threw the door open. Cassandra sat at the desk, her head sagging to her chest, inky blood staining the tips of Cassandra's golden hair. A deep red crust coated a hole in her left breast, staining her shirt and jeans. Grayson's fingers curled into fists. What? What did you do? Grayson tiptoed around the gore and approached Cassandra's corpse. A pistol sat in her lap, and her dead finger curled around the trigger. Obviously the cause of death, a bullet to the heart. He checked her scalp. It was free of any wounds. Hardened blood splattered across the surface of the desk everywhere except on a clean, square, folded paper. Grayson reached for the paper but froze an inch away. Is it wise to leave his fingerprints all over a scene like this? But who would fingerprint? Officer Dyer? That's a joke. Grayson snagged the paper and unfolded it. Well, this death is too much. I've lost too many friends. I'm going out on my own terms. Goodbye. Grayson reread the letter. He couldn't picture Cassandra saying those words. Her teeth were sharp. She fought, bit, and scratched through every inch of her life. That wasn't all. Grayson flipped the letter over, spotless. Not a single drop of blood. How was that possible? It should be covered, just like the rest of the desk. What about the pistol? Guns have a kick, right? The gun's sitting in Cassandra's lap with her finger still on the trigger. A lumpy stone landed in Grayson's stomach as he summoned saliva into his mouth. This wasn't suicide. The scene was thrown together worse than a set for an elementary school play. Grayson pressed his teeth together, shooting pain into his roots and gums. Cassandra didn't do that. And she didn't die from whatever got Greta, Carter, and Janae. Cassandra was murdered. Nowhere new opened from doing that. I don't think we got anything useful from searching Janae's house, did we? Let's just search the body. Locked the clinic. We break in. We examine the body. So Cassandra might be a dead end. Here's the dream again. Oh, investigate for clues. The smell of the community center's lobby left the taste of copper on Grayson's tongue, and he probed the inside of his mouth for a cut. The floor groaned as he stepped down the hallway toward Cassandra's office. Grayson met Cassandra for the first time in the community center. It was late summer. Grayson had begrudgingly arrived in Trenton. Town put on a potluck in his honor. Carter, who didn't hate Grayson yet, brought baked beans with hunks of bacon. Greta served a tray of shredded chicken and toasted rolls. Dr. Gill provided 2-liter jugs of off-brand soda. Grayson stood in the corner, shaking people's hands and introducing himself. Cassandra would not leave him alone. She asked about religion, politics, and ghost stories. You're the most unpleasant, fun person I've ever talked to, Grayson had said. Cassandra smiled and replied, Thanks, you're just unpleasant, but we can work on the fun later. She had a sharp tongue and thick skin to go with it. Grayson clenched his fists and ground his teeth, and someone in this stupid hick town killed her. Cassandra's body had been replaced by a silver tarp thrown over her chair. Dyer was getting sloppier at corpse cleanup, even with all the practice. Blood spots stained the carpet, and crusted scabs hardened across the desk and walls. Where to start? Grayson stepped carefully through the gore and rifled through the desk. Pins, a roll of tape, scissors, half of a credit card, and sunglasses filled the compartments. Not much as far as hints and clues. A line of books filled a small shelf above Cassandra's desk. Crime and Punishment, The Help, Dune, a book of poetry, pocket-sized Oxford dictionary. Grayson ran his finger along the shelf. So ordinary, so boring. Cassandra was always doodling something in a notepad. So where are all the journals and notebooks? At her house, or hidden? Grayson stretched his hand behind the books, and his fingers bumped into a rigid rectangle. There we go. Sneaky girl. Torn pages clung to a metal spiral notepad. Grayson flicked his wrist, flipping the cover open. Okay. That's it. Email about the car, airport, visit dad, call mom. A true connection, check it out. Last night was the most incredible night of my life. Heart's still racing and my toes are tingling. Lucid dreaming took so long. Can't believe we bonded so quickly without you. With you, I feel like I can do anything. I should wait for tonight, but I wanted to write you one final message. Thank you. I love you. Can't wait to see you again tonight. No more restrictions, no more hiding. We can be together every night. It is fitting that through our hearts, something we will always carry, we are forever bonded. Love you. I can't wait to go to sleep. Huh. That's creepy. Is she like... Was she like romanticizing the hanging mother? Now that we spend every night together, it's hard to stay away. I want to sit at my desk and write you note after note. I want to kiss your lips. I want to touch your hand. I want to explore my mouth. Can't every day be spent dreaming? I'm sorry. No, this isn't the safest way for us to talk. Ask you something away from our dreams. You think the singing lady hears us? And why is she there? Did she bond with us somehow? Is that okay? Reading the true connection, but it is not mentioned. You see her too, right? You like me? Too worried to talk about her while she's there? Or is the singing woman a nightmare of mine, linking into our dreams? Don't know if I should even send this. Need to talk in person. I don't know what to do. I wish I could talk to you right now. Wish we were dreaming. I wish we could be alone. Could have told me she heard singing and saw a shadow while awake. But I saw her too, the singing lady. How could it be her? We didn't bond to that thing. We didn't. True connection didn't mention her. Don't understand. What do we do? Can we undo our bond? Even with your crossed out? I'm worried about Greta. Huh. Dating in Alaska is worse than I thought. Yeah, only through your dreams apparently. No, Zem. That's you that's making it hard to read. You know, you got those stink lines all over the place. Sandra had a lover. She was fun to talk to, but flirting with her felt like hitting on a hunk of driftwood. Yeah, I said it. Lucid dreaming took so long. Can't believe we bonded so quickly. Grayson pressed his finger to his lips. Bonded? And what was the true connection? A book? Grayson rechecked the shelf, but there was no text by that name. Grayson tucked the notebook into his pocket. More questions, no answers. But still, he was glad he came back. He tiptoed around the desk, watching for chunks of red as he headed for the door. Grayson needed to find Cassandra's lover. He'd have more answers. As Grayson reached the door, the tarp crinkled. Grayson's head snapped toward the desk. The gray fabric slithered down the chair, crinkling to the floor and revealing a brown splatter on the back. What? The furnace was on. Grayson could smell it struggling to burn. There was a vent in the ceiling above the desk. The air had blown the tarp to the floor. That was all. Grayson opened the office door. He had to turn off the heater before he left, or the whole building would stink of cooked blood. I don't like that at all. Oh my god, that is horrible. That's some Silent Hill garbage. And it is still going. What on earth? Crows in the doorway. Are we being attacked by a Silent Hill monster? Purple, no. You can't fight it. It's a dream demon. Harp crinkled. Doc. Grayson's muscles tensed as the skin along his back turned to ice. Slowly, he glanced over his shoulder. Send me in, coach. No! Purple! It's too dangerous. A corpse, twisted around like a spring, stood beside the desk. Above the ankles, rubber legs bent in an upward circular direction, continued to tip of the stretched fingertips. The body's gray head squeezed between the biceps, elongating the skull. The muddy, wet eyes were the eyes of a cow. The squished lips parted, and water trickled onto the floor, dark gray. The wet golden hair was unmistakable. Grayson sucked in a trembling breath. Cassandra? Doc. Corpse stumbled on its wobbling legs. Dark gray. With each word, stringy drool poured from its mouth. This is messed up. This is the most jarringly horror thing that's happened so far. Grayson backed into the hall. It was a dream, a waking dream caused by stress or maybe some gray possona. Oh my god, Possum, you're adorable. Slimy saliva sprayed Grayson's cheek as he jerked backwards. The corpse's chest gurgled as it swelled. Doc leaned forward, puking clear liquid onto the floor. The stench of fish guts flowed across the hall. Grayson's stomach flexed, and he covered his mouth as he ran. Help me. More liquid splashed onto the floor. Grayson reached the end of the hall and glanced back. The corpse didn't chase him. It couldn't, not on its twisted legs. Light shined in the corpse's wet marble black eyes, and its lips curled as it wept. Grayson crashed through the lobby door and fell into the snow. He grabbed handfuls of slush, rubbing it into his face as he screamed. Ugh, the sound's gone. Oh my god. Grayson sat in the snow for an hour, replaying the scene. Water drenched his pants, and his nose and fingers were numb. Was he caught in a waking dream? Was the stress tearing his sanity apart? The cold pierced his coat and skin, freezing his bones. Grayson stood on legs drained of strength and limped into the community center. His heart screamed to run, but Grayson had to see it again. He had to prove that it was all a farce. The hallway was dry. Cassandra's office was empty. There was no twisted corpse. But the tarp remained on the floor, crinkled around two crooked footprints. Oh, that's... We can go to Grayson's house? I've never been able to go there before. Maybe Cassandra was the key. It's research. Grayson glared into his laptop's white screen. Cassandra's journal is a word vomit of thoughts and feelings. Maybe something on the internet will illuminate her scribbles. Well, you know what they say. Don't know what to do? Consult the internet. The myth behind dream sharing. The pagans of Gaul prayed to the goddess of sleep, Kamula, who lived in the shadows cast by ocean waves. Her song appeared to function like a siren, or kulapilic, luring people toward the ocean. Some confusion among religious scholars on whether the ocean in Kamula worship refers to the sea of the subconscious, or the physical body of water. Perhaps it represents both. Some surviving records claim that Kamula worshippers had religious ceremonies in a shared dream to avoid persecution from the encroaching Roman Empire. More myths than sense in this world. Grayson hated admitting it, but something beyond the medical textbook is happening in Trenton. Grayson chuckled, like all sorcerers and shamans speak, just this once. This same thing. Oh, okay, I can choose. What is dream bonding? The mention of dream bonding, most would give you a look of, huh? Dream bonding is the next step of your spiritual journey after you've mastered lucid dreaming, and this time you get to bring a friend. Yay! This technique allows two experienced lucid dreamers to visit each other in their dreams. Think lucid dreaming's amazing? Imagine sharing your dreams with someone you care about. The website didn't even provide a complete definition of dream bonding. Why write about something you can't explain? Useless. How to dream bond. Yin bonding. Maybe we just let the dark forces have Alaska. Not like we need it. Imagine sharing your yins with someone you care about. Oh. I mean, I could get behind that. Where's Emmy? I don't see any other yins nearby, do you? Blow a kiss. Mwah. How to dream bond. It is hella gay. Hi, Storm. Oh no, he died. Oh, he'll get better. He's just, yins are like kobolds. They always get better. Think of sleep like melting chocolate. Oh, chocolate. Zem knows a thing or two about chocolate. During the day, your subconscious is strong and solid. It has to be. But at night, your subconscious melts and becomes vulnerable. With enough training, this melted mess can be infiltrated. The process is called dream bonding. Participants must be advanced lucid dreamers, have a similar sleeping schedule, and be remarkably familiar. Family, close friends, or lovers. The dream bond must be solidified by using two identical objects that participants carry with them at all times. Awake and asleep, these items can be matching jewelry, charms, or coins. Making a bond is not easy, and you can take significant devotion, for the bond is easily broken by removing the bonder's identical objects. This seems like it could lead to a solution. He reached into his pocket and pulled out Cassandra's notebook. That was the most incredible night of my life. My heart's still racing and my toes are tingling. Yeah, I already read this, but yeah, she was doing this. We are forever bonded. It's fitting that through our arts, something we will always carry, we are forever bonded. Grayson rubbed his forehead as he reread the line. Cassandra, what did you do? And who did you do it with? Cautionary tale on dream bonding. Society of Siani Handbook. Fullness of empty spaces. Dream bonding, a wonderful concept. Why not play around in the sandbox of one's subconscious? It looks safe, but in truth, fire ants and centipedes hide, ready to bite anyone who plays there. Opening your subconscious rings the dinner bell for any formless manifestations that cheerfully answer the invitation to dine. How can you distinguish a true friend from a masked fiend in the realm of dreams? When invited, nothing keeps these manifestations from joining the bond between you and your friend. Dreams are a private realm, and our minds create barriers for a reason. Do not tear these fortifications down. Do not invite guests. Do not allow intruders. Fumbled for Cassandra's journal. Safe way. I want to ask you something away from our dreams. I think the singing lady hears us. Cassandra might have caused it all. Singing lady. Grayson tossed Cassandra's notebook onto the desk and ran his fingers through his hair. This couldn't be real. Was Grayson becoming as bad as those who blame Zeus for lightning or Poseidon for storms? Yet there was something in Triton, a virus of the subconscious, something that did not belong. Cassandra may be dead, but whoever she bonded with is still alive. I think we've looked at it all. Uh-oh. The moon bobbed across the sky, dragging along a tangle of clouds. The hangar's lights shone in the darkness as Grayson pushed through the snow. What was he gonna do? As a doctor, he vowed to never intentionally harm anyone. What if this harm was necessary to save lives? Grayson shook his head. It didn't have to come to that. All he needed to do was talk to her. Lyrical humming tingled in Grayson's ears. Stop it. It's over. The hangar door sat open, and a plane was lined up to the runway. Scarlet rustled through a duffel bag, her hair pulled into a curly bun. She yanked the zipper, tossed the bag over her shoulder, and stomped toward the plane. Grayson waited in the doorway unnoticed. He swallowed, his hand slithered deeper into the pocket. Scarlet climbed into the cockpit and stuffed the bag into the plane's back seat. Scarlet, Grayson said, his voice whispering like the wind. Her body tensed. Rez. Scarlet jumped from the plane. What are you doing here? Her lips curved into a smile, but her eyes burned like two stones plucked from hell. Where are you going? Grayson asked. Nowhere. Scarlet sauntered back to the workbench. I'm doing some maintenance. The aircraft was similar to the model Grayson's father had flown. Nostalgia almost made Grayson smile. Did you need something? I do. Shoes clicked against the concrete as he stepped between the plane and the workbench. I need to ask you something, and you can't lie to me. Nails clicked rhythmically against the work table. Sure, what is it? Crawled around the revolver's handle. You think killing Cassandra would fix things, or did you just want her out of the way? Excuse me? She loved you. Grayson raised Cassandra's journal. We have murder lesbians. Even though her father wouldn't have approved. Why would I kill Cassandra? Scarlet's eyes drooped in boredom, but her face tensed. She was a good friend. Was that all she was? I shrugged. A friend with benefits. BS. Why are you questioning my sex life? I know what you and Cassandra did. What? You dream bonded. Scarlet chuckled, her lips peeling back from her teeth. Chuckle evolved into a complete, heavy laugh. I thought God and magic didn't exist. You're a quick convert. Snipe Wars Episode 6, Return of the Tiger. Hi, Tiger. I think we're finding out why all this bad stuff is happening. It was murder lesbians the whole time. The third favorite kind of lesbians. You're right. Grayson slapped Cassandra's journal to the concrete, blowing up a puff of dust. I'm a hypocrite, and you're a murderer. The wind hummed, vibrating the hangar's metal walls. My hell. I rolled her eyes. Dreams are dreams. Why would I kill her over them? Murder lesbians. That's actually kind of awesome. I'm all for empowering the gays. We support lesbians' rights and lesbians' wrongs. This might be a bit too far, though. This is like destroying the world. But it might be a little bit, like, you know, just a little bit too far. When you bonded with Cassandra, something else bonded to you. The singing lady. I don't know what you're talking about, Scarlet flinched. You can't undo it because you used your hearts to create the bond. Scarlet swiped a crescent wrench off the workbench. I have work to do. She stepped toward the plane, but Grayson blocked her path. I think it's going to continue killing people unless we stop it. Grayson grabbed Scarlet's shoulder. You have to know something. How do we stop it? Fell a bunch of jumbo, garbage, myth, junk. You were right. You always were. We did the sleep stuff for fun because it was a good excuse to spend time together. Dream bonding never worked, obviously. Scarlet slapped Grayson's arm away and stepped around him. Talk to me in the morning, and you're back to being a cynic. Grayson pressed his eyes closed. I know why you don't want to help me, and I understand. Because you're a psycho? Because destroying Cassandra's heart wasn't enough. Scarlet froze. There's still your heart. Are you threatening me? I'm asking you if there's another way. Are you serious? Scarlet bit the edge of her tongue as her eyes darted across Grayson's face. How can you believe all this crap? Is there another way? Scarlet glared. Please? Wow, Rez, you've finally grown some balls. Rubbed her thumb along the wrench. Even if you are right, would you really trust a murderer to help you? Yes, I think there's been enough. What? Hard metal ting sang as Scarlet swung the wrench into the side of Grayson's head. Grayson's vision blanked as he fell back onto the concrete. Before his eyes cleared, Scarlet straddled him and hammered the wrench down toward his head. Grayson raised his hand, catching the blow. His fingers screamed with pain. Scarlet grunted as she swung the wrench downward, aiming to land an unprotected blow. The metal crunched into Grayson's jaw, filling his mouth with thick copper. Grayson's ears rang. He tried yelling, "Stop!" but blood clogged his throat. Scarlet drove the butt of the wrench into the top of Grayson's skull. Grayson's fingers tingled and his arms turned to rubber. His chest strained against her shirt as she clambered to her feet. I'm sorry, Rez, you're wrong. Tossed the wrench to the floor. You can't do anything to stop it. Lump in his throat, refusing to shift as he stared the yin down. He knew the yin wasn't gay, but the words had accidentally slipped out of his mouth. Cuckoo closed his, knowing his fate was worse than death. Wow, what an end. Yeah, that's totally how it ends. Definitely not yin just being super gay all the time. Warmth dripped down Grayson's face and puddled to the back of his head. His eyes drifted closed. Footsteps padded across the floor. The airplane door slammed and the engine started. Tires rolled along the floor and thumped onto the runway. For a minute it was silent, and singing came from somewhere out in the wind. Scarlet? A sense of gore pulled at Grayson's skull as he tried, pulling himself to his feet, but his legs wobbled. He slipped back to the floor. Scarlet, don't! The wind consumed the plane's roar. Scarlet was gone. Wet footsteps slapped against the hangar floor as the singing voice grew louder. Janae. Grayson's face twitched as brine water trickled onto his cheek. Icy tendrils slid through Grayson's hair, gripping the roots, and dragged him into the cold, dark nothingness. Ending 2 of 6, lacking strength. Scarlet gets away. There's gotta be a way to change that. Maybe if we get the gun from the police station? There's like a guide. I just want to see the true ending at this point. Let me see here. And there's no guides for this. Okay, I'm gonna skip a lot this time. I think I know where I can go for some stuff. Yeah, we got an ending of where we die at the end. But we found the culprit. So we just need like something to kill her with? Search Greta's house. We've never searched Greta's house. Let's do that. The gloomy weather enchanted testified that indeed someone had died that day. Grayson's boot broke through a crust of snow and sank ankle deep. As he pulled one foot out, the other fell, kicked the snow, and shards of ice through the air. Couldn't he do his residency somewhere with paved roads and snowplows? The door to Greta's house peeled green paint. Dead plants clung to a pot at the window. Did Grayson just walk in? I don't think anyone would answer if he knocked, but entering the house wouldn't mess with a crime scene, right? Chief Carter would love an excuse to arrest him. A wall of warm air flowed from the doorway as loud static crackled from an old radio. The floorboards creaked, and a lamp of fulgent multicolored glass cast a rainbow onto the wall. Every light that could be on was on, and a yellow plastic flashlight on the kitchen table. Scarlet admitted to dream bonding, which summoned the hanging mother, but then she beat us up with a wrench and got away, and that was the ending. Mark. So I'm thinking we need to, like, get a gun or something. The smoke covered an antique coffee table, and the coffee grounds stunk up the kitchen. The house was overstimulating. The lights, the radio, the smell. Grayson's brain swelled. The backs of his eyes ached, and he could taste the rotting coffee. I'm like invested in this. I wasn't expecting this to be so interesting. He dropped to one knee and pulled the radio's plug, plummeting the house into silence. Better. He flicked the lights off as he moved through the house. The bathroom's medical cabinet contained off-brand or expired medication, ibuprofen, Tums, wart cream, cough syrup. No prescription pills, no heroin needles, no little sack of lawn clipping. The upstairs bedroom was the weirdest room in the house. Unwashed clothes covered the floor in piles, and a tarp hung from the ceiling, duct taped along the walls, an inch from Grayson's head. Was Greta renovating her ceiling? What's with the tarp? Grayson raised his hand and pushed up on the crinkling tarp as he trudged through Greta's dirty clothes. He reached the nightstand and pulled open the drawer. No pill bottles. Grayson found a pocket-sized notebook. New York. Man with face, beard wanted dinner, forced to walk. Snow blocked me inside. Man disappeared. I was upset. Ate chocolate eggs. Man, that's a little strange. Small dog turned into a wolf, followed me home. Got inside house. Locked in a bathroom. Dog spoke to me, wanted me to let it in, woke up. Creepy. If it was poetry, it was the worst Grayson had ever heard. Entries read more like dreams. Flipped through the notebook. Greta recorded her dreams every night until November 4th, about a week ago. Makes sense. Can't dream if you're not sleeping. One day after your birthday. November 5th was the first night Greta missed since starting the journal on July 8th. Janae was right. Greta was sleeping fine until a week ago. Went to the front of the journal. Glad to have you in the group. I wanted to get you this journal as a little welcome gift. The recording of your dreams shall lead to better things. Sleep well. Mayor McClure. Grayson slapped the notebook closed and tucked into his pocket. No pills. No five-pronged weapons. Just a worn book in a dirty room. Greta clearly suffered from minor or major psychosis. Standard symptom of extreme sleep deprivation. Explain all the lights in the stupid tarp. Grayson pushed between bundles of clothes as he stepped toward the door. Cassandra could tell him more about the journal. It probably didn't relate to Greta's death. A sharp mechanical hum, followed by a crumbling thump, made Grayson pause in the doorway. Far corner of the room next to the bed, the tarp came free, stinging a strand of loose tape. What was that? Grayson glanced down the hall. It sounded like it came from the ceiling. He stepped back into Greta's bedroom, and a dirty sweater caught his foot, almost pulling him to the floor. Disgusting mess. He stomped the sweater down and made his way to the bed. Grayson grabbed the tarp's edge, sticky from tape residue, and scanned the floor. It didn't look like anything had fallen from the ceiling. What made that humming sound? Darkness radiated from the open space as Grayson peeled the tarp back and peered at the ceiling. Two tiny red lights stabbed through a soup of shadows. What is that? A smoke detector? Chirping could have been a demand for new batteries. Grayson lifted an ear and waited. Silence. His stomach jerked with an overwhelming stink of salt. Water burned his nostrils. Heck. What is that? He scanned the room, looking for rotting saltwater aquarium or moldy sandstone. Vomit bubbled in Grayson's gut, forcing him out of the room and the house. Gagged into the snow, and lines of saliva dripped from his mouth like spider webs. It's enough detective work for one day. Research? We weren't able to research before. I think we can probably find Cassandra's body even if we don't talk to her. Let's see. I'm gonna talk to Janae. We've done this part before. Now let's research. How could Grayson find truth in a town domesticated by denial? His knees bumped against a small desk as he opened his laptop. Grayson wouldn't find the truth out on the streets, he'd find it right here. Placed the journal by his computer. There's lack of sleep, her weird journal, and the sleep wellness group. There had to be a connection. Dream journals is a therapeutic tool. We see our dreams as separate from our waking life, but this is not entirely true. Our dreams reflect our inner feelings. A dream journal can help you identify damage to your spirit or mind. My friend recently confided in me that he was having a recurring dream where he stumbled into a bottomless pit. Able to interpret the dream as a sign that he felt inadequate in his own life. Recurring dreams disappeared once he could accept this and find ways to love himself more. Dream journals like an x-ray that peeks into our spirit and helps us see where we are damaged and what we can do to heal ourselves. In the journal to find something within herself, she never found it. Loads of writers claim their dreams as a source of inspiration. Howard Phillips Lovecraft claimed that his nightmares inspired some of the stories. The poem Nyarlathotep is one example. Remember your dreams? I can't. That's why I use a dream journal. Record your dreams each morning. When you're ready to write, you'll have a whole book full of prompts. Easy. That's tackier than a writer scribbling their dreams down each morning. It was as if they believed God himself funneled creativity in their ears while they slept. Not surprising. Grayson knew the only difference between biblical prophets and writers was that at least prophets believed in something greater than themselves. It doesn't matter how short Greta's entries are. It's doubtful she was using her dreams as inspiration for her next novel. Dream journals and lucid dreaming. Ever wonder what it'd be like to stretch out your arms and fly? Impossible, right? Nope. Lucid dreaming is a dream in which the dreamer is conscious of the dream. While in this state, the dreamer can often control what happens in the dream. So yes, you can actually fly around, go sailing on the moon, or do whatever you want. But how would you pull this off? Lucid dreaming is usually a rare occurrence. Or you can train your brain to have these dreams more often. First step is to keep a dream journal. Wake up, quickly record your dream before you forget it. It teaches your brain that dreams are important and something you want to remember. It takes months of constant dream journaling before a lucid dream will occur. Interesting. It's an actual scientific thing. It's more spiritual nonsense. You can flip through the pages of Greta's notebook. Her entries are short, sloppy, and have no footnotes. Lucid dreaming what Greta was trying to do? Is that what they teach in Cassandra's wellness group? I've looked at all three of these. Okay, that's the report that Carter and Janae died. Let's see if we can get the gun from the police station. Yeah, so we've read this before. He wants to check the safe, and we get his gun. Okay, we've got a gun now. This is definitely got to make a difference, right? Move that. Da-da-da. And now we gotta check Cassandra. Yep, find her body. And we get the dream. Check Cassandra's body again, and then we'll confront Scarlet with the gun. Oh, we gotta research. I hate that noise so much. Okay. Did this before. Power of the internet. Alright, let's see if this is any different. The moon bobbed across the sky, dragging along a tangle of clouds. The hangar's lights shone in the darkness as Grayson pushed through the snow. What was he going to do? As a doctor, he vowed to never intentionally harm anyone. What if the harm was necessary to save lives? Grayson shook his head. It didn't have to come to that. All he needed to do was talk to her. Lyrical humming tingled in Grayson's ears. Stop it. It's over. Hangar door set open, and a plane was lined up to the runway. Scarlet rustled through a duffel bag. Her hair pulled into a curly bun. She yanked the zipper, tossed the bag over her shoulder, and stomped toward the plane. Grayson waited in the doorway. Unnoticed, he swallowed, and his hand slithered deeper into his pocket, bumping into Carter's revolver. Scarlet climbed into the cockpit and stuffed the bag into the plane's back seat. Scarlet, Grayson said, his voice whispering like the wind. Body tensed. Rez. Scarlet jumped from the plane. What are you doing here? Her eyes burned like two stones plucked from hell. Where are you going? Grayson asked. Nowhere. I'm doing some maintenance. The craft was similar to the model Grayson's father had flown. The nostalgia almost made Grayson smile. Did you need something? I do. I need to ask you something, and you can't lie to me. Red's nails clicked rhythmically against the work table. Sure, what is it? Fingers curled around the revolver's handle. Yeah, we got the gun this time. Did you think killing Cassandra would fix things, or did you just want her to be out of the way? Excuse me? She loved you, even though her father wouldn't have approved. Why would I kill Cassandra? She was a good friend. Is that all she was? Scarlet shrugged. A friend with benefits. Yes. Are you questioning my sex life? I know what you and Cassandra did. What? We dream bonded. Chuckled, her lips peeling back from her teeth. The chuckle evolved into a complete heavy laugh. I thought God and magic didn't exist. You're a quick convert. You're right. He slapped Cassandra's journal to the concrete, blowing up a pile of dust. I'm a hypocrite, and you're a murderer. Wind hummed, vibrating the hangar's metal walls. My hell. Dreams are dreams. Why would I kill over them? Because when you bonded with Cassandra, something else bonded to you. The singing lady. I don't know what you're talking about. Can't undo it, because you used your hearts to create the bond. Scarlet swiped a crescent wrench off the workbench. I have work to do. I think it's gonna continue killing people unless we stop it. Grabbed Scarlet's shoulder. You have to know something. How do we stop it? Full a bunch of jumbo, garbage, myths, junk. You were right. You always were. We did the sleep stuff for fun, because it was a good excuse to spend time together. Dream bonding never worked. Obviously. Talk to me in the morning when you're back to being a cynic. Pressed his eyes closed and gripped the revolver. I know why you don't want to help me, and I understand. Because you're a psycho? So destroying Cassandra's heart wasn't enough. Scarlet froze. Or so your heart. Threatening me? I'm asking if there's another way. You serious? How can you believe all this crap? Is there another way? Please? Oh, Rez, you finally grown some balls. You are right. Would you really trust a murderer to help you? Been enough. And did the gun not help? Laying an unprotected blow. He yanked at the pistol, but it was stuck. Wrench crunched into his jaw, mouth of thick copper. But why is the pistol stuck? Come on. Grayson's ears rang. He tried yelling, "Stop!" but blood clogged his throat. He pushed his hand deeper into his pocket, and his finger wriggled to the revolver's trigger. Okay, so it is making a difference. That's a new line. There it is. The pistol jerked, and smoke poured from Grayson's coat. Scarlet screamed, grabbing her thigh as a black stain spread down her pants. Grayson leaned forward, tightened his shattered fingers into a fist, and punched Scarlet's bloody wound. Scarlet rolled onto the concrete, and Grayson drew the smoking revolver. The air sucked from Scarlet's lungs, and her eyes widened. No, wait. She raised a hand, her fingers stained in blood. Wait, Rez, just wait. Grayson was prepared for the gun to fire, but still, it surprised him. Scarlet's head cracked onto the hangar floor. The blood-stained wrench slipped from her fingers, clanging against the concrete. Grayson's legs wobbled as he stood, and the impossibly heavy gun tugged at his fingers. Imagine the diagram of the human body from one of his medical textbooks as he lined the pistol's sight with Scarlet's heart and fired. Blood trickled down Grayson's face as he limped to the open hangar door, letting the frigid wind stick its tongue to his wounds. Was that all? Grayson blinked, and darkness lingered in his eyes. Was it over? Did he finally sleep? His chapped lips peeled apart. Janae. The wind whistled, and it rattled the hangar's metal paneling. Grayson sat in the snow, letting the cold soak through his pants. He closed his eyes and listened to the storm. The song sung in the Alaskan wind had ended. Trenton was still cold, still dark, but finally it was silent. The Cure. We found the best ending. I kind of enjoyed this. There's apparently like 3 other endings, but they probably suck. Was not expecting Cassandra to be behind it all. Yeah. Some very decent writing. You see here. So this is called The Sleeping Sickness on Steam if people want to explore it themselves. It is only $2.49 at the moment. Of course, because it's just a text game. A big thank you to the developer for giving me a key. I really enjoyed this. I'm probably not going to go back for the last 3 endings, because like I said, they probably suck. I'm very satisfied just getting the best ending. Shame about Janae, though. Shame there was no way to save her. Yeah. I was definitely not expecting to be as interested as I was. And we went through it 3 times. Love us a well-written game. Very good, very good. Hard for me to really review it, but like, oh, this is good enough. Yes, Mark, it was women all along. Murder lesbians, to be frank. Yeah, it's about an hour long. Especially Maybe a little longer because I was skipping a lot of the retreading. God, that's way too long. What the hell? I definitely changed this. Let's see here. I don't know why that is like so weird. Check again. That lasts too long. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. It's a silly redeem I've been using a long time, but like it just lingers too long for some reason. But yeah, a little tired from all the reading, and my boyfriend will be home with chicken soon. But yes, thank you all for being here today. This was fun. But we did something different. Weird. So let's see here. Yes, I'm a fox. I love Chimkin. Yeah. Hopefully the dental surgery won't be too bad. Normally I would stream a bit longer, but yeah. We would usually stream tomorrow, but like I said, I got a dental surgery. It's gonna suck. Not looking forward to it. But thank you, Drake, for resubbing. We got follows from Foxes and CW Tiger. Raid from Foxes and Baron. So Squonky and Red gave biddies. Draco and RFM resubbed as well. Thank you. Yeah, it's a long time coming, unfortunately. Who can we raid? Let's see here. I was pretty proud of this, though. Hi, Zem. Oh my god, there's a lot of people live, actually. I can't raid you, Zem. You're not live. I don't... We raid... Let's see here. Jackal's doing whatever he wants. Let's go say hi to Jackal. Jackal's the one that mods my models into games and stuff. He's very sweet. Thank you, Enroll. Y'all are the best. We're about to be in our 3rd month of Plus. We're gonna hit Twitch Plus. I still can't believe that's happening. Hopefully we can maintain subscriptions and gift subs after the fact, so it actually makes a difference. I will continue doing my best, and we'll have a big video on Wednesday, hopefully, if I get my editing done. Make sure to join Discord if you're not in there. There's also my socials and our merch store. I'm trying to post a good big video on YouTube every Wednesday. It's my current goal. Anyway, that will be all for today, everybody. Remember to take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and don't take anything for granted. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Mhm, mhm.